and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week of the PiGosaur Monday number 10. I'm of course host VIP. With I'm joined by the people in the chat, by my plushes as well, and by these amazing players. Whew, it has been far too long. It's been what, like 8 hours? 8 hours since the last cast. We're back. Also, big shout out to Complete Noob in the chat for you subscribing for 6 months. Thank you, Papi. Thank you so much all for the kind words as well. I was briefly catching up with the conversation that was happening in the chat, so gracias, Papi, gracias. Do appreciate it. We do our best here on the CranKy Ducklings, and we continue to do our best coming into this week's PiGosaur Monday. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the American Terran player, the ex-CranKy Duckling himself, now representing Detonate. It is Dolan. The double D's, papi. It's great. It's spawning in the bottom left hand corner. We have the American Protoss player. Ooh, the green Protoss representing Team License to Kill, LDK. It is Soita. Here we go. We have our PVT. We are going to be jumping in. And we're going to be settling into our first match of the night. We're settling into our TVP. Let us go. For now, we do have a double gas opener out of Dolan, a little bit more tech heavy out of our Terran player, and Soita going for a more standard opener back at home. Interesting, going for the gateway on the high ground. A little bit odd to see. Not going to be walling off the Reaper Cliff, instead walling off here at the ramp instead. So a slight variation here out of Soita, but overall we are going to be settling in. Let us go. Dolan's race, yeah, no, that's been fixed. Has been fixed. But for now, we are going to be settling in. And again, hope you've all been having a beautiful Monday afternoon, evening, Tuesday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Again, we did just wrap up with the Warrior TV Monday last night, and now we are live with the PiGosaur Monday. If you want to tune in, or if you want to check out the bracket, !B in the chat, and the bracket is live, the bracket is stacked. I will be delving into the bracket after this series. And also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat as we are in the round of 32. In round 32. Now Soita just going to be expanding. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have our racks into factory. Again, because the double gas opener means a delayed expansion for Dolan. And coming into this, Dolan is a more aggressive player. He's a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. We expect to be seeing some two-base aggression out of him. He's not as all-in as Mono, for example. I feel like Mono is the extreme side of things. Dolan a little bit less so, but does often come up with his own builds. Is a very creative player and near and dear to our hearts as well here in the CranKy Ducklings. Near and dear, man. Near and dear. As always with our ex-CranKy Ducklings, there's never any ill will between us. Dolan was able to find a better opportunity at another team. I mean, especially considering that nowadays we don't really have as many funds to actually support a team anymore. You know, that's why we had Vendetta leaving and joining Platinum Heroes. Patty Mac left, Dolan left, but hopefully all to greener pastures. And great to see Dolan has found himself a nice new home, and hopefully you can do well with him as well. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. As Reaper does get across the map, snipes a probe, does get a worker, and does get a full scout as well. Dolan gets eyes on the Stargate opener of Soita. Doesn't just get eyes on the Stargate, also saw the unit of choice, saw the Oracle being built as well. So with that, he has full information on what's going on. Back at home, he can prepare. You can see the Marines rallied into the mineral line. Cyclone follow-up into, not a Viking, into a medevac drop. Okay, so Dolan's going to be following this up with some aggression to move out across the map, and we'll see if he can catch the Oracle. You can see the Cyclone moving out in the hopes to catch that Oracle as well. Is in position. Ooh, the first Oracle going to be chilling back at home, banking up actually. Interesting. Soita going to be keeping his first Oracle back at home. Second Oracle's on the way. Also, quickly to reiterate as well, Soita, for those who do not know, he is a GM Protoss player. His GM on the NA region, on the NA server. Haven't had the luxury of casting him too much, but still a strong competitor in his own right, and we'll see how he compares to Dolan. First things first, they move out across the map. Oh, they do get caught by the Cyclone. Wait, who catches who? Oh! Looks like Cyclone takes out one Adept, does race back home, Marines in position, here comes a tank drop, and it is spotted, it is scouted here by Soita. He's aware of what's going on, a couple of voids are being pulled as well. Cyclone will chase this down, and Dolan can't commit. He's moving out across the map, he will clean up the final Adept. We'll lock it down with the Cyclone. Back at home, what do we have to work with? We have a second shield battery on the way. Voider production is, Voider is being chronoed as we speak. Oracles as well with their stasis traps. Will he notice the stasis? Will he notice the shimmer? Will he see? Oh! So far he does dive in. Oh, then it looks like stasis will catch the Marines. Marines get caught out. Tank does not. Tank voice going off. The Void Ray can shut this down though. Where's the anti-air? The Marines! Marines are there to support. Tank will fall and Soita will hold. He will hold on. We'll be sniping those oracles though. The oracles do go down. Up! As juggling here with the Void Ray. Or the Cyclone even. Does avoid the Void Ray. Marines, they break out of stasis, catching the army. Up! And Soita gets surrounded. Void Ray goes down. Stalker as well. Everything will fall. And here comes the backup tank. And despite the initial holdout of Soita, it continues. It continues in Soita. He has nothing left. Down to 2 shield batteries, down to 1 Stalker. Void Ray has arrived. But with the juggling. Oh no. But the micro can barely keep that cycle alive a little bit longer. Overcharge runs out. And with that, Dolan, he will break through. Takes down the final Void Ray. Oof. And the natural base has been compromised. Dolan, he breaks through. Viking gonna be landing. Should clean up everything here at the natural at least. Behind this, there is an Immortal on the way. Does pop out. The boys are being pulled. Can he break out? Up. Gets us around. The Immortal's gonna be targeted. The tank will fall. Shatters to the boys. No, oh god, but this is game-ending damage. 20 workers going down. Back at him, Dolan, he expands. He's saturating his base, working on the eBay, working on +1. Still just rallying across the map. And again, despite the initial stasis traps, which were looking good for the Protoss, he was caught out in the open. And Dolan, he still just rallies in, catching the final Immortal. The Immortal will barely get the tank, though. Not the worst trade here from Soita, but again, he lost 30 workers. Now Dolan's pushing into the main. More boys are being pulled. Oof. It's going to be a rough trade here for the Protoss. And with that, Protoss player here, he will barely force this back, just barely. Oh, they're kiting with the Viking. He's kiting. He will kite the Void Ray to death. Does get brought down. Dolan's still rallying. He's an animal. Okay, calm down, Dolan. Calm down. Consolidate your army. As he wants that natural path. He wants it. 30 CC's on the way. And Dolan's still not content with the damage he's dealt. I mean, he's ahead. He's got double the worker count. He's even on bases. Has mules. Has an army to work with. And he wants that natural, at least. He wants it. Dolan gonna be retreating. Actually, I feel like he could have kept going a little bit longer there. Again, 2 Zelts and an Immortal isn't gonna be enough. But Dolan doesn't want to test his luck. He doesn't want to try his luck. He backs off. Pulls back. Races back home. Working towards stim. +1. Combat shields. Upgrades are on the way. Here, Dolan will calm down. As it settles, again, Dolan has got almost double the worker count of his opponent. Soita just trying to survive here with Void Rays, with Immortals. Unfortunately, Soita has no real mobility here with the army. Twilight Council is just now on the way. That's going to be for Blink or Charge. That will help, but again, he needs more time. And the problem here is that Dolan's building up a death pool of an army, and soon, once the upgrades kick in, Dolan can move out once again. He's just waiting for those upgrades. And then here comes the second wave. Comes the second push. So he will confirm this with the Zealot. He will see it coming, but can he do anything about it? That's the question. As back at home, even the shield battery's depowered. No! I mean, yeah. GG gets called as the writing was on the wall, and Dolan will take game number 1. GG. We'll take game 1. We'll take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Soita can bounce back here in game 2. Again, we were featuring Dolan over the weekend at Cheesadelphia, where Dolan barely did not make it out of the group stage. There was a brutal tiebreaker between like 3 different players, and he barely didn't make it into the playoffs. I feel like he definitely should have, but he barely didn't make it through. So Dolan even letting us know that he's here to redeem himself back. Yeah, here to try to make up for that. And so far, so good. So far, with a strong start. Now getting ready for that second game. Going to be on Amygdala. Here we go. jumping into amygdala. When it comes to his new team, when it comes to detonates, I believe they're mainly an FPS team. I want to say Valorant, maybe CSGO, but most likely Valorant. And Dolan is their first SE2 player. They did want to try to step into the ring when it comes to NA SE2. I know that he got their attention when it came to winning Cheeseadelphia. Cheeseadelphia, not the most recent one, but the one before that. And Dolan wants to make up for his recent cheese performance here in the PiGosaur Monday. And here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our American Terran player. The orange Terran representing Detonate. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the green Protoss representing Team License to Kill, LTK. It is Soita. Hello, my friend. Greetings from Costa Rica. Oh my god. Ay, papi. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Every now and then we do cast some Costa Rican players. Every now and then. Eon specifically. But Dolan is going to follow this up with not just one, with two SCVs with a proxy 2 racks. The racks are going to be on the way after an explosive game 1. Dolan wants to end it early here in game number 2. And it's going to be on our Protoss player to recognize what's going on, to react, to scout, to defend. Here we go. Meanwhile, Soita is moving out this probe scout, so Soita, he should... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he should confirm that the racks is missing, but it's not going to be a 2 racks, it's going to be a 3 racks. Are we going proxy marauder? I would imagine here that we're going to be reinforcing with Marines back at home. Oh, no gases. Okay. Mass Marine here. We're going to be building up purely Marines across the map, and then I would imagine Dolan's going to pull the boys. Dolan, he will pull the boys with this and pull the trigger. And so it is in the dark. He sees nothing. He sees a Rex at the wall. He sees the full depots as well. For all he knows, there could be a factory follow-up. There could be a CC on the high ground as well. He has limited information, and Dolan, he will find the probe, which means the probe will not see the move out. Ay. Back at home, Soita just going for a standard opener. Gate, Cybercore into expansion. Standard start here from our Protoss player. And here come the boys. As we mentioned, the boys are being pulled. It's going to be all or nothing for Dolan. And because the probe went down, again, Soita has no idea. He's just chilling. He's waiting for his warp gate. Stalker's on the way. The Stalker is going to struggle. That's going to be the one unit here for Soita. Likewise, no shield battery, no defensive setup, no second gateway. He's going for a robo-based opener, which eventually leads into an immortal. Safety shield battery on the way. Oh, boy. I mean, that'll help, I suppose. But again, Dolan should be able to force his way up the ramp. He can, of course, middle walk past the Stalker. Stalker now realizes what's going on. He sees, he knows. He has to pull the boys. Don't get surrounded. As Stalker is going to be zoned back, and the pylon's under fire. That's the Artosis pylon. No, the Artosis pylon. Everything gets depowered. No shield battery, no sentry, just one Stalker. Immortals on the way. Army dives in. Marines started stepping forward. Stalker gets locked down. So Fine started stepping here with the Marines. They do avoid the surround. They do avoid the probes. Stalker falls. Immortal still on the way, and everything's going to go down. The boys, they pop up. They focus on the shield battery. GG, and Dolan will take the series 2-0. We'll advance on to the round of 16. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very aggressive series here out of Dolan. Game 1, going for a more aggressive 2-base push. Here in Game 2, going for the 1-base all-in. Unfortunately, Soita was unable to confirm what was going on. After the first probe went down, would have been ideal to have sent out a second worker just to figure out exactly what was happening. He was playing blind, he was playing in the dark, and... as a result, he wasn't able to respond in time. Ideally, in that position, if he were to see the move out, would of course chrono out that sentry, would have a force field for the ramp, could of course fully wall off to make sure that SCVs could not mineral walk past, and eventually buy time for the Immortal, get shield batteries in the middle line, and have a defense in the main. But again, it was just, it came down to the lack of reaction time, like the lack of knowing what was happening until it was too late, right? He had no time to react at that point, as he had seen it in his face. Didn't realize what was happening until it was already pushing up the ramp with that GG. GG, well played. Ooh. With that, Dolan will take the first series here, and now we can finally take a moment to have a look at the brackets. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let's catch up on what has been going on. Ooh, as we do have quite a lot of updates here. Okay, heading over towards the bottom of the bracket first. Let's head on over. We have Dolan. Dolan takes down Soita 2-0, and Dolan is waiting for the winner of Mute and Harimang. Harimang and Mute, they're currently mid-series. Mute is the Peruvian Protoss player. Harimang I am less familiar with, but I'm going to be favoring Mute, as Mute is a GM. So I'm expecting Dolan versus Mute in the next round. If that is the case, we'll be casting it. Scrolling up a little bit, we have Luciano, the Chilean Terran, up against Applesauce, the American, I want to say Protoss player, currently duking it out in the first round. Honestly, a really good series. Likewise, we have Geralt versus Cloud. Big shout to Geralt and all European players in this tournament, because it is not a good time in Europa. The D-Gens are out in full force, and that is why we don't see too many of the other big regular European players. This week there is no Clem and there is no Max Packs. They're not here, and again, it can be quite difficult staying up all night and competing in this tournament. So shout out to Geralt for doing so. Again, the Polish Protoss. Meanwhile, scrolling up a little bit here, we have herO up against Rebellion. That is a spicy one, and I was definitely keeping my eye out for that TVP. I was tempted to jump into either Rebellion or herO's match to follow that into herO versus Rebellion, but I had to be there for my boy, had to be there for Dolan. So for at least the start of the broadcast, we are going to be following Dolan in his endeavors. Scrolling up, we have Akedon versus Milo. Scrolling up a little bit further here, halfway across the bracket, we have herO. herO is going to be the number 2 seed of the tournament. He's the number 2 seed, and he is favored to make a deep run and make it to the finals. We'll see if anyone can stop him. I want to believe players like herO, Rebellion, Geralt, Dolan, Mute, I want to believe these guys, they can slow him down, they can take maps. Can they take a series? That's a tougher question to ask. Tougher question to answer, I should say. So best of luck to everyone. Scrolling to the upper half of the bracket, we have the other half. We have Mixu. Mixu takes down Matter 2-0. Overmind gets a walk over Hapsaya. Hapsaya, I believe he was streaming, but maybe was in a ladder session, maybe unavailable. Hope everything's okay. But Overmind is up against Mixu in that second round. Meanwhile, we have Bomialja. Bomialja up against Rosaman in the first round. Winner goes up against Nickracked, and Nickracked is going to be one of the favorite players to make a deep run. I do foresee the Nickracked versus Mixu match in the quarterfinals is going to be a spicy TVZ. Best of luck to everyone else. Pig takes down Fireclaw 2-0. Pig waiting for the winner of Folkster and Zertanis. Folkster is going to be favored to make a deeper run in this event. Meanwhile, we have the number 1 seed of the tournament. Heroes number 2, Dark is number 1. I mean, they are interchangeable, and they do face off many a time in online events. They most recently faced off in the finals of KSL. We casted the finals of this week's Korean StarCraft League. It was Dark versus herO in the finals at the best of 5. They went all the way to the ace match, and herO did take it. herO, he did take down Dark. Can Dark get his revenge? Can they even face off? Again, there are some players scattered about that can threaten these players. We'll see if anyone can stop Dark versus herO. They're kind of like the Clem versus Max packs of the Korean region, at least historically, where Dark and herO would often face in these finals. So we'll see if they can be stopped. Otherwise, we're going to be scrolling down, and again, we are focusing on the lower portion of the bracket. We're focusing on Dolan, on Mute, on Harimang. Currently, Mute is in-game, so we're waiting for that to wrap up, and once they finish, we can follow them into the next round. I would imagine, Geralt. Geralt's going to be the favorite player to make a deep run here in this portion of the bracket, to head on over towards the quarterfinals. Best of luck to Luciano and Applesauce. I'm unfamiliar with Cloud, Cloud Speed. I'm unfamiliar with him, but best of luck nonetheless. Best of luck. Best of luck. Here we go. It's catching up in the chat. Was home racks on time? The racks at home, I believe, did finish by the time the probe scout arrived. That's what was brutal about it, 100%. I was taking note of that, and yes, it did finish up by the time the probe arrived, which was brutal. To be fair, that's also amygdala. For those who are curious, the rush distance by ground on amygdala is longer than that on maps like Whispers of Gold, on maps like Ultra Love, and there's another third one as well, El Dorado. Eldorado, and ley lines. There we go. There we go. So it is a longer rush distance compared to those other 4. Because of that, I'm sure that also favors hiding this kind of build and hiding the racks time as well. So that's another factor when it comes to that. But with that, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we return, we will have Dolan's next series, or we'll be jumping into Mute versus Haryamang mid-series. One of the two. Good map for Proxy DT. Unironically, probably. I mean, in general. But yeah, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next match. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, get ready for a night of StarCraft. Till then, take care. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned with the round of 16 of the PiGosaur Monday number 10. And spawning in the right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing his new team, Detonate. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Peruvian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is Mute. And and before I get ahead of myself, a big shout out to Christopher Fister. Thank you so much for the raid. God, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session, I'm assuming. Hope you had a great time. And Merry Christmas. I saw the Twitch title earlier. I was yeah. I was very concerned, but also happy holidays. We settle in. As we settled into our next series here, oh boy, and coming into this Dolan, I mean, we did see how aggressive he was earlier in the previous series against Soita, but we'll see if that aggression continues. For those that are curious, Dolan in game 1 did go for a 2-base, basically a 2-base all-in, 2-base aggression. Game number 2 did go for a 1-base proxy all-in by pulling the boys. Here, we'll see how he does approach Mute. Also, before I forget, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Mute is going to be a bit of a level up from Soita. He is a very strong GM Protoss player in the American region. We've seen him go toe-to-toe with some of these big names in the past. So I do think this is going to be a good challenge for Dolan. Back at home, going to be a single gas opener, Rax expand, economic start here by Dolan. Meanwhile, Mute, likewise, just going for a gate into Cybercore into expansion. Standard opener here by our Protoss player, economic opener by Dolan. Once he does sneak in, it does slip by with that bunker. Let's go. The bunker has been placed behind the mineral line. With this, he can, of course, try and deny mining here, try and contain his opponents and delay the economy here of Mute for as long as possible. As Mute doesn't know. He doesn't know, doesn't see the bunker, has no idea what's going on, and the bunker will complete. The goal here is for the Reaper to get behind and to deny as much mining for as long as possible. Reaper's on the way. Behind this, we do have a second Rax. Interesting. Second Rax is in production. We'll see if we have a third Rax into a 3 Rax follow-up into a stim timing. Reaper dips into the main. Oh, gets a probe. Gets one worker, pulls away, diving into the bunker. So far, no setup. Now Mute realizes what's going on, and we're going to need a shield battery. Ideally, a shield battery and a stalker to help deal with this. Likewise, it's going to be micro between the units attacking and the repairs on the bunker. Second Reaper has arrived. Oh no! Reaper gets caught. A bit of miscontrol there by Dolan. Does stay within the mineral line, gets shut down. Nice pick up here by Mute. But mining is still being denied. Meanwhile, back at home, we have the answer. It is 3 Raxes. It is going to be a 3 Rax follow-up. What this leads into is going to be a big stim timing, building up a massive amount of Marines, massive amount of Marauders, moving out across the map momentarily with a massive bio army. And we'll see if Mew can recognize what's going on. But now, chasing down the SCV. We'll get it. SCV does fall, and the bunker will not be salvaged. Bearing in mind, this is a big factor, a big feature of the new patch, is that bunkers, I mean, they can try to salvage, but if they get attacked, the salvage is cancelled. So this does force us to be more committed than it used to be, and this should be a kill on the bunker. So again, in general, bunker harass like this has since, I mean, we rarely see it nowadays because of the nerf in the patch. It does go down. So now it is a bigger investment from the Terran side of things, as they can no longer salvage. Meanwhile, back at home, the Marines are amassing. Checking the vision here, Dolan did confirm the tech of choice is going to be a Twilight Council opener into Blink, and this should trigger Dolan into making more Marauders. Marines initially, but Marauders eventually. As he's building up his bio army. Now, this is not an all-in, bear that in mind. It is committed, don't get me wrong, but not necessarily all-in. Designed to move out across the map, it could end the game. Ideally, wants to get some damage done nonetheless, and this typically leads into a third base. Leads into a more macro mid-game. But it's still committed, I should say. I should emphasize. It's still going to be quite committed here from Dolan. Back at home, we do have a 2-gate blink into a third very economic build here by Mute. And my biggest concern, Mute should be out on the map. There we go, he's moving out with the depths. Ideally, is moving out with Stalkers as well. The way to properly deal with this is if Mute realizes what's coming his way, if he spots the army, he can slow it down. He can chip away at it with his Stalkers, use his blink control, of course, to kite back, ideally force out a stim, pick off Marines, maybe Sniper and Marauder as well, and just pick away at the army as it moves out across the map. As the army spotted, now he knows. Mute does know, and he has to respond with those Stalkers. So far the Stalkers are still back at home. Dolan moves out. Stalkers are not being active, and Dolan, he will get across the map unharassed, uncontested. He is moving out. Observer does confirm the build of choice as well. Stalkers, now they activate. But it might just be too late at this point, as they will miss the army. Oh no. They do miss the army. Dolan coming in from behind. Observer does confirm. Stalkers, they try to engage. Oh, going for the Marauder. They go for the Marauder. There's the first stim. Dolan stims up the ramp. No shield battery. No force field, I should say. Sentry goes down. Pylon as well. Depowers everything. That Toast's pylon falls, and Dolan busts into the mineral line. Probes are going down. This is brutal. This is far too much damage. Gonna get up to what? 9, 10, 11 probes. Trades with the Stalkers, is cleaned up, doesn't end the game, but does cripple the economy of Mute. Behind this, Dolan now taking a worker lead, behind this building up, getting ready for his eventual drop play. And so far, good damage. Didn't end the game, don't get me wrong, did not quite end the game, but did do quite a bit. Didn't just get economic damage, just slowed down immortal production, slows down the production in general. Mute now moving out, and Mute needs to be active here. Again, with Blink Stalkers, he has the maneuverability to get into the main. He can try to bypass natural, dive into the main, pick off some add-ons, get some SCV damage, or just contain the terrain. Oh. Playing with fire, pushing up the ramp, gets a Marine. Oh, Dolan going for the stim. Can he get a Stalker? Ooh, he can. One Stalker goes down. Better trade for Dolan, trading a Marine for a Stalker. Now moving out. Behind this is that third CC at the natural, as we did mention, is macroing up. And here come the reinforcements. Here come the 2 medevacs, which means Dolan can now stim more freely. He's rotating over towards the third base. No shield battery, but there is a sentry. There are some force fields. Dolan moving in. Mute, he can hold his own here. Going for hallucination, which means no force field. And no force field from the Protoss, which means Stalkers are going down. Dolan busting into the mineral line, going for the pylon, denies the warp in, but here comes the Colossus. And just in time. That's a lot of Marauders. He can stim in. No, the Colossus, get out of here. He can't get away. Colossus goes down. Brutal pickoff. This army will fall for Dolan, but he's going to trade as best he can, picking up even more probes. Getting 9 more workers, 10 more workers. Can he get 11? Can he get 12? Not quite, but 11 probe kills. Colossus, the Stalkers, the Sentry, and Dolan, he just keeps going. He just keeps going. These have been brutal trades, and Mute just cannot really recover from here. He's trying to, though. Getting another Colossus, reinforcing. But because of these losses, it means that Mute, his army, his main army, his main composition is being reset time and time again. He can't hit a critical mass of Colossus or Stalkers or Immortals. Has been reset. And Dolan, he dives in for round 3. Into the mineral line. Alas, the Protoss out of position. Just going up on the Zealots. Oof. Alas, this time the job is going to be deflected. Depowers a bunch of gateways. Dolan have to pull out at the same time. Oh, we do defend the third. Full medevac goes down as well. Better defense here from Mute. And Dolan is going to calm things down, consolidate his army, taking his third. And we'll see where Dolan heads next. The drop is spotted. Mute is aware. Trying to respond. A second Colossus on the way. Building up to 2 Colossi. Dolan, does he push in towards the natural or just head for the third? Pylon does confirm. Mute sees the army. He knows Dolan's coming. Here's where Dolan's pushing in. Dolan, he goes for the dive. Again, that's so many Marauders. The Colossus, they tickle the army. Nice kiting here out of Dolan. Mine shots are not baited out. Oh, gonna be spent on the Stalkers. Oh no! Oh my god. Might as well connect. Robo goes down, and the army is gonna be surrounded here. The Marauders, they just chew through those Stalkers and the Colossus. GG gets called, and Dolan takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. We'll take a lead in the series. And again, unfortunately, Mute was just unaware of what was going on. He was unaware of the initial build, even though he saw the bio army. If you remember, Mute didn't respond until his observer got into the main. The observer got into the main base, the observer saw the Raxes. That is finally when Mute started to move out with the Stalkers, but by then, the army was already across the map. Dolan, he was already across the map, so Mute, he was caught with his pants down. Likewise, we saw the late warping of Sentry, which means that late force fields. I mean, we didn't actually see any force fields just because of how late that warp-in was. And, yeah, Mute, he was caught out. Likewise, with the follow-up push towards the third base, likewise, Mute also didn't see it coming. That's why there was no shield batteries ready. That's also why there was no sentries ready for force fields either. Alas, just lack of vision is really what did kill Mute there in that first game. And now we're getting into game number 2. We are jumping into game 2. It's going to be on King's Cove. Here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing Detonate, leading the series 1-0. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Peruvian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Mute. Here we go. Confirmed Fistmas mainstream. Oh no. What does that mean? What does that entail? What is Fistmas? I don't think I want to know. Hi. Now we're going to be settling in. And our eyes are going to be on Dolan. Once again, he is typically the aggressor in this matchup in TVP. I don't expect him to go for a 3-Rax for a second game in a row, though. Don't quite expect that. But now, single gas. Okay, single gas opener. What does that mean? That means Dolan is going for a more economic build. Rax into CC on the low ground. Much more economic start out of our Terran player. But again, this makes sense on King's Cove. This is a much larger map in the map pool. It takes a lot longer to get across the map. And of course, your 2 and 3 base setup is very defendable. Unlike some of these other maps, there is a ramp coming into the natural. Very narrow ramp as well. All it takes is some well-placed force fields to really stop and slice up an army and cut it in half. As you can imagine, if Dolan did attempt to 3-Rax and did attempt to stim up this ramp, it would be a tough ask. Would be difficult to pull off. So we expect something different. Meanwhile, Dolan, he's going for the SCV scout. He checks the 3rd base location, checks the 4th base location, is looking for any proxy gateways. So Dolan playing it safe, making sure that Mute has no shenanigans up his sleeve. Does open up with the Reaper. And back at home is going for the Tech Lab follow-up. Is this a Marauder opener? Into Concussive Shell? Okay, I see you. This is a little bit old school. There it is, Marauder and Concussive Shell. So the goal here for Dolan, typically in this matchup, the Protoss player would usually be not too afraid to move out with the first couple of units. I'm referring to the first Adept, the first Stalker, the first 2 units even. If Mute overextends, if he moves out towards around the natural location, Dolan is going to be banking up those Marauders, and hopefully we'll catch them. We'll catch out those initial units and get a good trade. It's usually how the Terran would approach this. But now Reaper does dip in. Big shout out to Blarg on Blarg SC2 in the chat. Thank you so much for the sub. Oh, probe goes down. Reaper will fall. Checking the vision here. Dolan, did he get into the main? He did not. Dolan is unaware of the tech. It is going to be a blink-based opener. But big shout out to Blarg. Thank you so much for subscribing to Twitch Prime for 4 months. Thank you. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much. And do check out Blarg's stream as well. It does stream from time to time, every now and then. Big shout out. As we do have a it's still going to be a 3-1-1. Early racks before starport. Okay, so usually if the... No, my apologies. 2-1-1. Wait, what? For some reason in my mind, I thought that was a rack, not a starport. It's going to be a 2-1-1. A much more unorthodox build in this matchup. Meanwhile, this is the moment we were looking for. The Adept does get caught out, but it will escape. Does shade away. Marauders are revealed. But 2-on-1s are usually reserved for TVZs. They are great to be active on the map, to deny creep, to threaten queens, to get some economic damage done. In this matchup, we see this less frequently, but this is a unique variation. We have Widowmines to support, Medevacs on the way, rushing into stim. I'm curious if we're going to be moving out with everything or only with the Mind Drop. We'll see how Dolan pieces this all together. So Bio Army is building up. Meanwhile, back at home, Mute, of course, working towards his blink. How many gateways? We have one gateway at the natural, we have a gateway in the main, sorry, 2 gates in the main, so 3-gate blink overall. Much more dedicated this time by Mute. If you remember, last game, Mute opened up 2-gate blink into a third. Mute went for a very economic build. This time, 3 gateways, much safer. Much safer build here by Mute. He'll have extra warp-ins, extra stalkers. You can see he's making it an immortal as well before expanding. So very safe play, even a baby for expansion. So after what happened in game 1, Mute, he's learned his lesson. He's like, you know what? He's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna just play safe. I'm gonna just calm down before expanding. Fair enough. Dolan moving out, not with the bio, but only with the Widowmines. Dropping towards the natural. Will boost in, unloads. Oh! Gets into the mineral line, does commit in Mute. The reaction! Ooh, late reaction by Mute. Mind shots say go up, 8 probes go down, massive connections. And that is worth it here for Dolan. We'll lose the medevac, but still 8 probe kills for 3 Widowmines is a worthwhile trade. And now Dolan is going to be moving out. He did scout the bay, saw the robo. Should be aware that that was before expansion. Is moving out. Hallucination likewise moving out for a scout. Alas, does miss the army. Again, King's Cove is a very large map. Hard to get a read on that. Dolan does engage. Oh, there's a first stim. First stim gets baited out. Dolan is unable to catch a stalker. Now he backs up. Now he does retreat. So nicely done there by Mute, engaging the army in the center of the map, forcing out a stim. And could even try to chase him down. And Dolan has to back off. He has to back off, taking a third base, macroing up, working on those upgrades. Likewise, Mute getting his third up and running. And we can now embrace the mid-game. Unlike the previous game where Dolan had a strong start and a strong economic lead, this time it's more even, more back and forth. Mute's comfortably getting into his third base. As I mentioned before, the third is late for Mute, so his economy isn't ideal, but he did forego that faster expansion for faster Colossus. So again, just really safe play out of Mute. There's that give and take. Dolan's being active. I was about to say, I would love to see additional sentries here for Mute for extra force fields to stop the army. As Mute, he does confirm the third CC on location, is aware it's not a 2-base all-in, but Dolan's still being active, looking for a way in. Scans ahead of time, spots the army, sees the Colossus, sees the sentries, and he should not push up this ramp. Looking for any stray pylons. Going for a drop instead. Okay, this I can get behind. Let's go. Scans the third, drops towards the main base, but the pylon does spot. And Dolan backs up. We'll pull away. Mind shot baited out. Mute defends. Mute gets his third. Gets his fourth even. Both bases in production. So far so good. Mute slowly expanding. And Dolan, he backs off. He's taking up into Vikings, into Ghosts. Done with medevac production. Viking Ghosts on the way. And yeah, the game is going to slow down. We're going to slow things down. We have our back and forth. Mew being very robo heavy for now. He should soon be diversifying his splash damage, either working towards a second robo and disruptor production or storm, one or the other. Ideally, you don't want to be stuck on purely Colossus. Otherwise, the massive Viking army is just going to completely ruin your splash damage, and you'll have nothing left. Speaking of diversifying, there it is at Templar Archive. So it's going to be Storm, not Disruptors. Going to be Storm coming up next here for Mute. But it's still a ways off. Dolan once again being active on the map. Mute fanning out his units. We have Pylons, we have Stalkers, all to just scout any kind of movement from Dolan. This time Mute, he will spot the army. Observer also getting in position. Rocks get knocked down. Dolan he scans, he confirms, still Colossus, still no Disruptors. Okay, he's just setting up, doesn't commit yet. Waiting for more reinforcements. How many ghosts does he have? 3. 3 ghosts, 3 EMPs. Not too many. He has to make them count. 4 CC on the way. Alright guys, Mute getting a 5th. He's getting that 5th expansion. Clearing up those spotted pylons. Dolan spots the expansion. Will deny. Ooh, yeah, 5th base is cancelled. Mute, he's only got those 2 Colossus though. EMP does connect. EMP goes up. First Colossus gets turned away. So far good kiting here by Dolan. Playing it carefully. Doesn't overextend. 1 Viking goes down. Another EMP here on the Archon. And now Dolan, he's going to commit. Chasing down the first Colossus. Colossus is going to go down. And there's 1 left. Oh my god, the shield battery! Shield battery popping off. Oh my god. Barely keeps it alive. And Dolan, he has to retreat. He lost every single Viking. Didn't get a single Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. The power of the shield battery. Jesus. Wasn't expecting it to go that hard. And Dolan, he's in trouble. He's going to be forced all the way back. Nice EMP. Dolan backs off. Mate, who needs the shield battery overcharge? Oh my god. As Mute holds on, gets a 3rd Colossus. And has he reached our Storm? Ooh, not yet. That is a little bit concerning. There's a Templar Archives, but no Storm. I mean, I say that's concerning because Mute reset the Viking counts. I mean, he can commit here to Colossus. He can make a 4th Colossus if he wanted to. Could get up to 4. He's going to be reinforcing. Getting his 5th base, double expanding. Dolan trying to keep up, but again, he was very dedicated to that assault, and as we saw, it wasn't quite worth it. He lost 10 Vikings. 10 Vikings for nothing. For shields. Shields and a bit of hull damage. I mean, a lot of hull damage. The Colossus barely survived, but that was a big investment. And that means the Mute is going to be the first to max out. He's maxing out. 4th Colossus on the way. Again, I'm not opposed to it just because he did reset the Viking count, but I would like this a little bit more if there was Storm as well. It is very risky here to commit to just purely Colossus. Not impossible, but risky. I mean, instead, Mute, he's really heavily reliant on the Gateway army, right? He's a bit of a Gateway man. Mass Zealot. How many Zealots does he have? 28. 28 Zealots here for Mute. Now, ideally, with this kind of swarm toss army, your goal here is to engage out on the map. You don't want to fight with your opponent having the defender's advantage, specifically with your opponent having SimCity. Like, that's what really hurts 28 Zealots, is if there are choke points, right? If there are choke points, if there are planetaries, depots, bunkers, then it can be very difficult to push in. But out on the map like this, then the Zealots can surround. Then there's nothing to really stop them from moving forward. As the armies, they do miss each other. Mute, he's going for the planetary. Planetary is going to go down. Dolan forced to respond. And Dolan's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. The base does full SCVs as well. Dolan trying to race back home. The Colossus, they're exposed. He gets 1, he gets 2. Oh my god, he gets 2 Colossus immediately. Prism goes down. Yeah, beautiful fight for Dolan. Takes down 3 Colossus, takes down all 4. But here come the charge lots. Zealots dive in. Nice kiting here by Dolan. Vikings land. Ooh, the ghosts are exposed. Vikings get cleaned up. As dust settles, Mute, he maxed off, and I still favor Mute here because you see what I see. Mute, he has 2,000 minerals in the bank. He can warp in nothing but Zealots. Mute, sure, he lost all of his Colossus. He did take a really rough fight, but he killed the base. He disrupted the economy. Dolan is stuck on 3 CC. He needs a 4th and a 5th base. He needs an economy. As a result, Mute is going to be the first to remax. He can remax and hit that 4th base once again. And Dolan needs time. Does need time here. Mute coming in with purely Stalker Zealot. Dolan trying to set up. Again, we'll need that planetary. We get spotted. We need those EMPs. The Liberator sieging up. We have freedom. The freedom is here. EMPs connect on the Zealot and the Archons. Very nice connections. Yeah, Mute, he cannot engage. Not into this. We spoke about this before, but ideally he wants to fight out on the map, not pushing into a planetary. War Prism is going to go down. And Mewtwo will lose almost everything here. He has to get the hell out of here. Pulls away with the Stalkers. Again, pushing into these entrenched positions is exactly what Mute does not want. But he's mass expanding. Taking so many bases, so many expansions. But his main army is struggling. Dolan moving out with a counterattack. We can see again Mute reinforced with purely Zealots. He is making 3 Colossus at a time though. Jesus, that's a lot of Colossi. EMP going up. Oh, grazes the Zealots. Doesn't fully connect. Again, Zealots they can trade well. Sniping Ghosts. Oh, that's a lot of Ghosts going down. Yeah, it's almost every single Ghost. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal losses for Dolan. Very expensive losses. Trading against purely Zealot. That's what's important there. And now Mute, he's back up to 3 Colossus, getting up to 5, making 2 more behind this. And Dolan doesn't know. That's the scary thing right now. Dolan, he hasn't seen the additional Colossus, so he doesn't know to go back into Viking. He needs Vikings once again. He's going into Liberators, which will help. That is true. Lifting and landing his main. Desperately needs a 5th. He's maintaining himself. Likewise, Dolan is unaware of the mass expansion, so he doesn't know to punish this. Otherwise, he could. You know, 1 or 2 medevacs towards the north and south can absolutely punish this. But he doesn't know. He scans, and now he sees 5 Colossus. Instantly Viking production. Instantly, just as many Vikings as possible. 4 Vikings at a time. Dolan has yet to max out. I don't blame him for not checking for these expansions. But Mute, he's getting out of hand. Economically, I mean. He's getting out of hand. And just like that previous fight, ideally Dolan wants to fight on his terms. Back at home, with the planetary. Dolan, that's a tell. Seeing that attempted pylon. It's a tell that something's wrong when it comes to the map control of Mute. Yeah, Mute, he's building up another 2k mineral bank. That means he'll be able to reinforce with pure Zealot after the fight, if it doesn't go his way. Dolan has to pull back. Liberators are sieged up. Dolan stepping in. Once again, Colossus exposed. EMPs connect. Oh, he barely does not get one. Yeah, the Colossus, they hold their own. There we go. 1, 2 Colossus do fall. The Vikings will clean up. Dolan kiting back to the Liberators. Yeah, nice kiting here by Dolan. He will take the better trade. He will take the better fight. Oh my god, has a kite back against the Colossi. And he lost most of his army. Most of the bio, I should say. Barely holding on, but here comes a massive wave of reinforcements. And with the economy, Mute, he can just overwhelm Dolan. Can just overwhelm Dolan. He needed a more efficient fight there. Like, it was kind of awkward. It was out in the open. The Colossus got a lot of value. And Mute is so quick to rebuild. Just reinforcing with pure Colossi. Dolan is barely holding on. And Mute should have this. At this point, he should have this. Gonna take down the planetary. Nice EMPs, but EMPs that don't quite connect with the Zealots. Zealots, they can charge in. And they can chase Dolan down. Colossus, they have arrived. Mineral line does fall. Dolan trying to break up, but again, he can't fight this out in the open. Yeah, who was 15 SCVs. It's kiting well against the Zealots, but more Colossus on the way, more Zealots as well. Vikings get cleaned up. Mute does overextend for a moment there. Does overextend. His army looking that much more vulnerable. But only a little bit though. More Zealots warp in. And Mute, he should be able to break this. Bringing together his Colossus. Swiping away at the army. Boys are being pulled. Dolan, he barely has any boys to pull. Oh god, the reinforcements, they just keep coming. The Warpins, GG gets called as Mute overwhelms, and Mute ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Mute, he was able to just gain map control and expand and take every single base on the map. Up until that point, Dolan was able to hold his own, but unfortunately, he was just unable to confirm what was really going on. Likewise, he just did give Mute a little bit too much time. Mute was taking, I would say, some worse fights. Mute, he was not necessarily trading well or taking the best fights he could have, but he could afford to make those mistakes. He could afford those mistakes. He could definitely afford anything, really. He had so many bases. Such an economy. So he was able to brute force his way through. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We're going to game 3. Going to the ace match. And again, I do feel like this is kind of the map that Mute can really thrive in. A map like King's Cove, which is quite large, so it's a little bit more difficult, or it's a lot more difficult for Dolan to be aggressive and be assertive. He has more breathing room. He has more map control, of course. More freedom to do as he pleases. On smaller maps, it's going to be much more difficult here for Mute. Speaking of smaller maps, up next is going to be Whispers of Gold. Here we go. Same high schools after those Vikings. Oh no. I still want to know why there is no Terran representation with the duck. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh no. I mean, Dolan's an ex-Duckling, you know? Ex-CranKy Duckling. Unfortunately, we don't necessarily have the funds to continue our pro team, you know? We still have players like Eric on, or players like Ryu, Oreo. But if they ever find like a nice team to call home with like a better salary or something, then they're more than happy to switch over. Oh, I see. I mean, with the Zergling and the plushie. Oh, I see. True. I do need to update. You're not wrong. My plushies. Ah, no. I do have the Marines. I have the plushie Marines. I just need a new photo. I need to take it. I need a proper photo shoot with all the plushies. Like, this is very outdated. This is a photo from like what? 2019? No, 2020, 2021, before the Marine plushies were released, before the Marine plushies came out. But you're not wrong. The duck needs company. You're not wrong. One day I'll get around to it. But here we go. We're getting into the ace match, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing Detonates. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Peruvian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is Mute. Tying up the series 1-1. But yeah, like, I have so many more plushies now, right? I've got the Marine plushies, I have the Overlord plushie, the Derp Fester. Yeah. I need to set up some nice lighting. Get the photo shoot going. I had the I had the idea. Someone in the chat previously had the idea that because I have like technically plushies for each race, I should set up I should get photos for every matchup, and then I should switch that that image to whatever the matchup is. It's like TVZ or ZVT or PvP. Which sounds like a lot of work, but it's a cute idea. I like it. To change it depending on the matchup that we're casting. What do we do for random players? That's a good question. I don't know, but I like it. Go. But for now, we're gonna be settling in. Here. This time, double gas. Ooh, okay. Double gas opener out of Dolan. This time, gonna be going for something more aggressive, more tech heavy. This means a faster factory. This means a delayed CC from the side of Dolan. Delayed, but not all in, of course. There we go. CC on the low ground. Now, with this faster factory, this can lead into a couple different things. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion, into some early game aggression. This can, okay, we are going for the add-on swap. Interesting. Going for Reactor Factory production. That means that we could head into Reactor Hellion into drop play. Curious. Do we go into Widow Mines instead? There we go. Reactor Hellion. Okay, so Reactor Hellion Reaper. Oh, there we go. It's on the way. Reaper gets across the map, gets some scanning information. Once again, we do have our 2-gate setup. Ooh, Reaper goes down. Scout is denied. There is that tech lab on the racks. This can also lead into an add-on swap into Banshees or Ravens. So I'm curious to see what Dolan is cooking. What's he cooking, Pappy? Now, hallucination from Mute does confirm, for the most part, the 1-1-1 is aware that the CC is late. There's the add-on swap. Hellions are building up. And we do have Cloak Banshees to reinforce. Let's go. So Reacted Hellion into Cloak Banshee. Very aggressive here by Dolan. And we'll see what he can get done. Meanwhile, Mute, are we going for a 2-gate Blink opener into a 3rd? Throwing down Spotted Pylons. Twilight Council is done, working towards Blink. Okay, for now, just Spotted Pylons. Hellions move out. They head towards the natural. Ideally, they want to get into the mineral line. They're on their way in, and they will one-shot probes. So far, they get 1. Oh, getting 2. Hellions being targeted down. They got 5 so far, up to 6. And barely, potentially 7. Yeah, 7 worker kills, 8 worker kills. Not a bad trade here by Dolan. 4 Hellions for 8 probes. It's okay. It's not bad. Does get damage done. Banshee moves out. Hallucination will confirm the researching tech lab. And Mute should be chronoing out that observer. And there we go. Observer's on the way. There will be detection. Mute's still playing it safe. And he should be able to hold his own. And again, this is quite dedicated by Dolan. Throwing down 2 more maxes for an add-on swap. Tank production has begun. Ooh. Okay. That is early tank production for Dolan. And this can lead into a 2-base all-in. Banshees are deflected. They get 1 probe. Dolan is building up. And we could see Dolan go for an add-on swap, get into Stim, get into +1 as he is making only 1 eBay. And then go for a Stim +1 timing. And he has the option to pull the boys with this on 2 bases. You know, Mute expanding. Getting his 3rd. Throwing down extra gateways. I mean, I say that, if this were to be something like a 2-base all-in, it has been delayed because of the initial Hellion aggression and because of the Banshees as well. Cloak was researched. The Banshees need to get more done. So Banshees are moving out. Now, 2 Banshees, they can one-shot a worker. They can one-shot probes. You can have 3x of each +E facing off against each other, and random. You could just use one for each side. True, true. That can be arranged. I just need to get around to doing it. Just draw a question mark on the Sticky. As Banshees, they do hit the third. So far, 5 probe kills. Very nice damage. 5 workers go down. Get the hell out of here. Oh. Sniping a Stalker. Not bad. Not bad from Dolan. Building up behind this. Third CC's on the way. He is not going for the all-in. Is going to be building up and macroing out of this. Is still going to move out. Now, this push is designed to deny the third. Is designed to apply pressure and deny the third base. But the move out gets spotted by the Stalker. Mute is somewhat aware. Is being active. Behind this building, a more zealous charge almost done. First Colossus is on the way. We'll see if Mute can survive this. No shield batteries. That's a little bit concerning. No shield batteries, but there's that one Colossus. Tank sieging up. Army dives in. How good are the mine shots? Zelts, they do charge forward. Mine shots going to be going up. Zelts go down. But so do the tanks. Yeah, they got what they wanted. And can Dolan sim in? Can he get on top of the Colossus? He's trying. He's trying to sim forward. Looks like there is not enough of a buffer. And again, this time, no shield battery to save the Colossus. No shield battery, no support. Boys are being pulled. And it looks like he will barely get the Colossus. Yeah, just barely. It will not escape. Colossus goes down. Massive pickup. Mew will hold, but at a cost. At a cost of his army and 11 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Dolan from here, he backs off, consolidating his forces. Trying to get the hell out of here. Pull away. Oh my god. Very close. Does pull away in time. Getting his third up and running. And Dolan now takes an economic lead. Does take an economic lead. Now we get the shield battery. Now we get our setup. Now on the way for Mute. And from here, Dolan doesn't have to push in. He can just calm things down. Ghost Academy's on the way. He can just build up on Viking, on Ghost. Get his third base saturated. There's no rush for Dolan. As it's Mute who's recovering. Ooh, and when behind, Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine is on the way. There is a lot of potential. You may be thinking, oh, but, you know, in this matchup, Terrans have mules. Oh, sorry, Terrans have scans. That is true, but, I mean, typically they are going to be muling quite hard. Scans aren't always available. So damage can still be done with these DTs. So Mute, he can recover, he can bounce back. There is potential. As we said, Lintus, shout out to Tater2 in the chat. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to the community, to Fornia. Thank you, thank you. Gracias, papi, gracias. Gracias. Dolan does move out. Across the map. Rotating over, gets eyes on the fourth. Vikings have a mass. The Colossus looking very exposed. No shield battery. He has to pull away. Oh no! He has to pull away. Colossus will survive, but the base will not. It's going to be a cancel on the Nexus. And Dolan, he has that, what, 50 supply lead. Cutting off the army from the Robo. Robo goes down. No more Colossus. Likewise, Vikings zoning away as well. Yeah, collapsing on those Colossi. One Colossi going to be going down. Army sims in. And Mute is just being picked apart at the same time. DTs across the map. Oh my god, the DTs! They get 31 SCVs! They get all the workers. Every worker's going to be falling, but it may not matter because Dolan gets his main army. He stims in. GG gets called, and Dolan will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Dolan will take the series. Again, a very strong start from Dolan when it came to his first move out. Unfortunately, Mute wasn't quite ready for it. He did spot the move out, but again, there were no shield batteries ready. Did have a Colossus, did have a good amount of gateway army, did kill the tanks, but alas, did cost him everything else. GG, well played. Dolan being very decisive, very aggressive here, having more success on these smaller maps. Again, it was King's Cove where Mute was able to really get into his own, able to macro up and max out. But in game 1 and game 3, that was not the case. Was not the case with that. Congratulations, Dolan will take the series. And the question becomes, where are we headed next? Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, and we have a lot to go over. Oh boy, Dolan, he has his next opponent. And we'll let him know that we will follow him into the next round. Okay, from the bottom here, we have Geralt. Geralt takes down Claude Speed, takes down Luciano 2-0 apiece. And Geralt, he advances on to face off against Dolan in the next round. It's going to be a TVP once again. Meanwhile, scrolling up, herO takes down Rebellion 2-0, but herO does bring him to his knees. herO takes a 2-0 over herO, and herO is waiting in the lower semifinals. Again, the number 1 and number 2 seed of the tournament are Dark and herO. It's all about, can anyone stop Dark and herO from facing? We're here to find out. For now, we're going to be focusing on Geralt versus Dolan into herO into the grand finals. That is the plan here for the stream. Scrolling up, we have Mixu. Mixu gets a walkover over Overmind. Mixu's up against Mixu's up against Nicaract, what I meant to say. That's going to be a very close one. I do think that Mixu and Nicaract are very close in skill. I might favor Nicaract there, but best of luck to Mixu. Best of luck in that TVZ. Scrolling up, the number 1 seed, Dark. Dark 2-0's patches. Dark is waiting for the winner of Foxer and Pig. And again, Dark is also favored to make a deep run in this tournament. We'll see if anyone can stop him. Best of luck to Foxer and Pig. Best of luck to Nicaract and Mixu. We are focusing on the lower half of the bracket, though. We're focusing on those lower matches. Up next, Dolan and Geralt. That is coming up next. Coming into this, Geralt is going to be the favored player. He's a very strong player from the land of Europe, one of the stronger European Protosses out there. So we'll see if Dolan can hold his own. I want to believe he can, but it is going to be a tougher ask. As we set up our players and get things ready, as vetoes are underway. It's catching up. Just catching up in the bracket, and we might just be casting purely TVPs here tonight. My Zerg hope is going to be for the finals or the upper semis is going to be casting Dark later on. I guess Mixu as well. True. Mixu's still in the tournament. Now they're focusing on the TVP. As vetoes are underway, we will be going on a short break. We have a little bit of downtime here, so we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our quarterfinals. We'll have Geralt and Dolan. See you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals of the PiGosaur Monday number 10. We're here with another TVP, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Geralt. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the orange Terran player from the land of the Americas, representing Detonate. It is Dolan. Here we go, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to predict. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets in the chat for who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Coming into this, I do favor Geralt in this best of 3, but I want to say that Dolan has it in him to make him work for it, to force an ace smash, and to maybe cause the upset as well. My eyes are going to be on Dolan here as we spawn into one of the more vetoed maps in the map pool. Very rare sight here to see El Dorado. Do love to see it. On a map like this, short rush distance by air, we have, of course, the southern half of the map that is walled off by gold minerals, by regular minerals as well. There are some gold bases to take advantage of, gold bases all around. We'll see when and if our players do expand towards this area, or if they go for these more standard expansions instead. We'll see who does decide to open them up initially. Meanwhile, ooh, hello. Okay, 2-Rack Reaper. Let's go, I mean, let's go. It's gonna be 2-Rack Reaper here by Dolan. Very aggressive start back across the map. We'll see how he gets this done as the probe does come in for a scout. Does not see anything in the main, has no idea what's going on. Does check, but alas, the Rax is a little bit further back. For all Geralt knows, this could be a CC on the high ground, could be a factory, could be anything, could even be another Rax. So Mass Reaper here from Dolan. The goal here is to get economic damage done early on and follow this up, ideally, I would imagine, with a 3-Rax follow-up. But we'll see. As Dolan has goes to hunt down that probe, he's looking for the worker. Alas, doesn't quite find it. He's searching. The probe does race back home. Hiding at the Zelnaga. Ooh, nice moves here out of Geralt. Very nice moves. CC on location, so again, Dolan, he's not going for an all-in, but he's opening up 2-Rack Reaper nonetheless. And his goal here is to get across the map and get economic damage, but last he is going to get scouted by the Zelnaga. At least I would imagine he would. Just waiting for that 3rd Reaper. 3rd Rax behind this, yep, so it's going to be 2-Rack Reaper into a 3-Rax. Into Bio. Into that stim timing. Here come those 3 Reapers. Hallucination comes in, does confirm the 3-Rax. And likewise, the probe confirms the Reapers. Oh god. So, Geralt, he sees everything. He knows all, he sees all. Behind this, Reapers diving in towards the main. Geralt, he evacuates the natural. Does focus on the main base defense. Boys are being pulled. Sentry goes down. Oh my, never mind. The Sentry survives. Sentry lives, 1 Reaper falls, and so far it's been a rough start for Dolan. We'll get 1 probe. But just the 1. Yeah, the Reaper gets locked down, fully walled off, and with that, Geralt, he defends beautifully here. What did he lose? He lost 1 probe, 1 worker for 3 Reapers. That was a big investment for Dolan. It wasn't worth it. Was not worth it in the end. Very nice defense here by Geralt. Again, a little bit came down to his scouting, to his vision. He was able to mentally, physically prepare for what was coming his way, and did handle it very nicely. From here, Geralt is going to move out. And across the map, Dolan is working towards that stim timing that we did mention before. Stim, combat shields, +1, it's all going to be on the way. No eBay yet. And it's going to be that much more dedicated this time from Dolan because of the rough starts. And oh god, there's no bunker. There's no bunker. Stalkers, they can pop up. They get 1 Marine. They get 2 Marines. They get 2 Marine kills. And oh my god, he barely gets a 3rd. 3 Marines for nothing. For a bit of hull damage. Geralt, he gets away. Once again, very nice pickups here by Geralt. And Dolan, he's still building up back at home. Still has to build up. Again, as a reminder, Geralt, he already scouted the build. He already knows what's coming. So he can just back up. Staying on 2 bases, building up towards a bay, into Colossus production. Fast Colossus will shut this down. That is the ideal response. And the hallucination confirms that there is still no 3rd CC. No 3rd CC. Gets eyes on the factory, on the eBay, on +1. The eBay is delayed because the initial start is going to be quite late. And Geralt he sees. He does see the move out. He's ready here at the natural. If Dolan does try to stim up the ramp, then Geralt is going to be able to force field. That's the idea. You can force field and cut the army in half. Meanwhile, Geralt, he can even freely expand. Going for the southern third. Dolan's still skirting around looking for a way in. He scans, he sees the sentry, sees the setup, wants none of it, Dolan backs off. So a really mature decision here by Dolan is to not commit. He did check the third base locations. Geralt is going to try and chase him down. Oh, where's the stim? Oh, oh. Dolan pulling up the ramp. Observer's in position. Geralt, he backs off. There's the scan, spots the observer. Nicely done there by Dolan. And we'll pull away. Oh, okay, so Dolan, instead of throwing down the third CC, that is going to be another 2 Raxes. A 4th and 5th Rax from Dolan. So suddenly he's much more committed on 2 bases. He's much more committed. Second starport? This I'm not used to. On 2 bases. Is that intentional? Okay. Second starport. This feels like a 2-base all-in. Again, I'm unfamiliar with this second starport setup. He's going to be going for an add-on zone into Mass Viking production, I would imagine. Into Mass Viking. Dolan's moving out. Still looking for the third. He has not spotted the expansion. There's the add-on swap. Yep, Mass Viking. Okay, so this looks like a variation on the TVT all-in, where we're going 2-port Mass Viking 2-base all-in. Okay, I haven't quite seen this variation in this matchup. We'll see how well this works. You can see Dolan is going to be mining through those minerals. He is now aware that the base has been taken towards the south. Ooh, Geralt, he's here though to deny those SCVs, potentially. He's outside the mineral wall. Dolan's still just massing up his army. Now, does Dolan pull the boys with this? That's the question. That's the real question. I would imagine so. Against a Colossus-based army, like, that's going to be the ideal. To pull those boys and have some kind of buffer. Meanwhile, how many Vikings is he on? So far up to 6. There we go. Dolan, he does move out. Army does spot him. Rallying everything across the map. It's all or nothing for Dolan. It's going to be all or nothing. Engage with the army. Likewise, the observer does see this. Dolan does not pull the boys. But is still very committed. There's no third base behind this. And there's 3 Colossus. Oh my god. Shield batteries, or at least one of them is done. Boys are being pulled. First Colossus goes down, but there's 3 more behind this. So many Colossi. 7 Colossus falls. Cannons are finishing up. And Geralt, he's holding. He's holding on. Yeah, the shield battery is working over time. And Dolan, he had nothing behind this. He's going to knock down those rocks. Let's go. Takes down the Archon. Knocks it down with the rocks. You love to see it. But also he's trapped. Has to pull out. And again, he has no third behind this. The Medivacs. Okay, Medivacs do survive. But again, this is all that Dolan had. It's all that he had here. He was all in. And I guess he could try to lift and land his main. True. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for Geralt. Geralt, he did lose how many probes? 18 workers in that defense. That is true. He had to pull the boys. But he's already resaturated. Already has resaturated. Dolan going to be reinforcing his scans, looking for a 4th base. Making 4 Liberators behind this. He's lifting his main. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's going to lift his main base. I mean, again, that's the only way he can really keep himself going here. Is by lifting the main. He can't really afford an expansion. Picks up a couple of Stalkers. Geralt taking his 4th. Geralt back up to 3 Colossi. Behind this, no further splash damage. Does have the Temple Archives. Oh, never mind, he has Storm. Never mind, Storm is done. Oh. And speaking of, wants to lead with the Storms. It does want to lead. Massive Storms connect. Dolan going to be forced back. There's going to be one more Storm left. Yeah, Liberators are going down. And we're waiting for that final Storm. Vikings do fall. Colossus survive. GG gets called. And Geralt will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Get a very strong start for Geralt to shut down the initial 2-axe Reaper. Likewise, did scout the 3-axe follow-up, and he was able to shut both of them down. In the end, Dolan, he did pivot towards a 2-base all-in, a very unique 2-base all-in that I hadn't really seen in this matchup, which is a 2-port 2-base all-in with Mass Viking. But as we saw, barely it was not enough to break through. Geralt, he had 4 Colossus. He had 4 Colossus. He had 2 shield batteries, 2 cannons at the 3rd base, had the energy overcharge as well. He defended quite nicely. Was a nice defense. Here we go. We're getting into game 2. So getting into game number 2, it's going to be on Frostline. Sorry, the players just bantering. just a little bit of banter going on. Getting into game 2, going to be on Frostline here. A much larger map in the map pool. Much larger map. Which means it's not going to be as conducive to aggressive play. So I'm curious how Dolan will approach this. Does he proxy? Does he play standard? Does he play macro? What's it going to be? The onus is going to be on Dolan here. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone, leading the series 1-0. It is Geralt. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran player, the Orange Terran, representing his new team, Detonate, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Dolan. Now, never mind. As we do have a bit of a pause, I was about to say that we haven't actually seen Dolan really embrace the new old Cyclone. We have seen some players go mass Cyclone in this matchup and have quite a lot of success with it. I think we have seen Dolan go for some factory-based cheeses, but yeah, for now he has yet to really approach that. I think we saw him go mass Cyclone in TVZ against Zerg players. Sure, makes sense. Going for Battle Mech again. But that is a build that has been kind of like resurfacing here in TVP. Is a more Cyclone heavy composition. For better or for worse. I would say for worse, but it's the state that we're in. So we'll see how he does approach this. And so far, we are going to be settling into our game. Again, maybe some hockey issues. We're good to go. Geralt's going to be opening up. And so far, double gas. Double gas opener here out of Dolan. Double gas means faster factory. This can lead into a dedicated Widowmine drop. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This could lead into early Banshee, into Cloak Banshee. We saw that previously in the broadcast against Mute, if you recall. Could lead into Banshee play, or could even lead into an early tank push. So we'll see what's going to be done with this build. Our eyes are going to be on Dolan. Geralt back at home, just, you know, chilling, opening up, going for a scout, getting across the map. It's going to be a Reaper opener here by Dolan. Does fully wall off to keep Geralt in the dark. And I do like this just because Dolan did go for something more dedicated last game. He went 2-axe Reaper, so the idea of just fully walling off and keeping his opponent in the dark, it's a nice way to kind of mix things up and to play some mind games here against Geralt. Ooh, as the SV does get over to the other side, thankfully. Just in time. Does hop over. It's going to be safe. Oh, going reactor. First here. Sorry, Reaper into reactor. Okay. Reactor's on the way. There's that factory. We'll see if we go for another add-on swap into Mass Hellion. I mean, the natural is a little bit more wide open. So an investment into Hellion would make sense. Did see that against Mute previously. Shield battery's on the way. Reaper does confirm. And yeah, there's that add-on swap. This looks like the build that we saw from Dolan on Whispers of Gold, which was Reactored Hellion into Cloak Banshee. So my eyes are on Dolan here to see if he does the same. Ooh, SCV goes down. Nice pick up here with the probe. Snipes a worker, delays the CC. There's our starport, and do we see the tech lab on the racks? Show us what you got. We'll keep an eye on that tech lab. On that racks. Behind this, Twilight Council open out of Geralt, going for Blink. And yep, there it is. A tech lab is on the way. This should be for the add-on swap. This should be for Banshees. Assuming this is the same build that we saw previously against Mute. Ooh, meanwhile, Dolan out of position. The CC is going to be delayed. That's a brutal pick of 2 SCVs going down. Big delay on the CC. Force field catching out the Hellions. Scan the Hellions as well. Hellions do get out, but they've been seen. They've been spotted. 2 of them busting into the mineral line. Getting 4 probes. Oh, 2 probes even. Oh. Hellions, they take a lot of hits. 3 workers do fall. We have the tech lab on the factory, tech lab on the starport. Hellions, they're trying to find some damage here, but they will be cleaned up. Oh, not bad. Probes, they line up. Getting how many? Getting 8 probe kills. Not bad. 8 workers do go down, but there's still no CC. This is brutal. This is so brutal here. The Cyclone should deflect this, but that is so much damage on the command center. Oh, the force field. Force field locks down the Cyclone, but the Cyclone can hold its own. So the Cyclone will defend. We'll shut this down. Cleans up the Stalker and the Sentry. And finally, Dolan can expand, but this is a very late expansion. Very late TC. Behind this, Cloak Banshee, as we did mention, tank production as well. So this does look to be the same build that we saw in, previously against Mute, but it is delayed. You know, it is delayed. Unfortunately, this time, Dolan didn't get as many probe kills. Likewise, his CC is very late, and that does impact the build itself. Does slow it down. So there's a lot of pressure here on Dolan. Meanwhile, Geralt checking his vision. He did not scout the main. Does he have a sentry? There we go. I was waiting for the sentry, waiting for the hallucination. Now, this is a big feature now of the new patch. For those that are curious, because of the energy overcharge, now it is far easier for Protoss players to scout in general. I mean, against Zerg and against Terran players alike, due to the sentry, due to the hallucination. As we should be seeing non-stop hallucination scouts. Stalkers, they blink into the main. Hallucination confirms the 111, or should confirm the 111. Has yet to really commit. Stalkers, they dive in, they take down the Cyclone. SCVs are going to be falling at the same time. Banshees, they head into the main. No Observer, not yet. Observer's on the way. But the shield battery holds. Shield battery is enough to hold. Geralt defends his main. This time not rushing into Colossus, this time rushing into Storm. Hey, very different follow-up here by Geralt. Love to see it. Meanwhile, Dolan, he is committed. Moving out across the map. Banshees, they flank the Stalkers. They get 1. 1 Stalker goes down. 2 Stalkers go down. At the same time, we come in to catch reinforcements. The boys are being pulled. And it's going to be a 2-base all in here from Dolan. But again, he gets scattered far ahead of time. And Geralt doing everything he can to slow this down. Does delay the push. Back at home, shield batteries are on the way. More sentries, more Stalkers. And Geralt just nibbling away at the back line here of the all-in. Trying to pick up SCVs. Dolan moving out. Geralt, he will catch a tank. Oh no! Oh my god, a tank should go down. At the same time, Dolan at least kills a third. Tank falls. But Geralt doesn't care about the third base. Doesn't care about the third. It's all about defending the natural. Tank volleys go off. Dolan, he can still pull this off. Throws down a wall of bunkers. Tanks getting within range of the gateways. Dolan going for a slow push here forward. Banshees, they hunt down the Archon. Archon takes a lot of hits. Geralt trying to come in from behind. Dolan, he spots a rotation. He spots the army. Once again, another tank getting caught out. No, the tank. He won't get away. Oh my god. Barely gets cleaned up, but Dolan, he is going to be salvaging. He's pushing in. Going for the kill. Geralt's now out of position. Dolan going for the natural. Can depower the shield battery. Can even focus it down. And was this worth of a Geralt? Was this worth it? He denies charge. Charge is denied. Geralt coming in from behind. Dolan, he does confirm. He's ready for this. Here comes the surround. And Geralt, he blinks in, does focus on the tanks, one after the other. He gets one, he gets two, there's one left. And Geralt, he will clean this up. Yeah, he will clean this up. Takes down the final tank, even without charge. Good effort here by Dolan, but alas, he just doesn't have enough. So he will lose the entire army. Banshees, they get away. Worker counts are neck and neck. But Geralt has an army, and Dolan does not. Dolan, he's down to 3 Banshees, a handful of Marines, and 1 tank. No bunker, no defensive setup. And Geralt from here can just counterattack. BC? What's happening? What's going? Why is there a fusion core? Dolan behind this, rushing into BC production. I mean, the first BC has arrived. Let's go. Teleports across the map. He's crazy. Meanwhile, Geralt, he dives in, gets one of the tanks, gets one, gets two. Takes down the Banshees. At least is trying to. A lot of Stalkers are falling. Dolan, he's holding. He's defending. He's barely holding on. He's trying to. More Stalkers come in. Dolan's going to be overwhelmed. Meanwhile, across the map, BC kills every single worker. Geralt busting into the main. Second BC's on the way. Oh, Storm is going to be denied. Oh, the shield battery. The shield battery keeps it alive. Out heals the DPS of the BC. Shield battery's out of energy. Storm completes. And Geralt can get the production. Can and will. There's only one battle cruiser. Second battle cruiser should pop out just barely. And can teleport away. Geralt trying to force a tie here, I would imagine. Oh my god. And here comes the BC going for that Templar. Gets one, gets two. Very nicely done. Gets two at Templar, teleports across the map, going for the final mining base. Trading with the Stalkers. And GG gets called. There are too many Stalkers back at home. And Geralt, he will take the series 2-0. Will advance on to the semifinals. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations, Geralt will claim the series. That was a wild way to end the game as well. Shout out to Dolan for the 2-base all-in followed by BC reinforcements, which, I mean, almost worked. True, almost did work. If only there were less Stalkers, if only Dolan was able to disrupt the production a little bit faster, or even, get on top of the economy a little bit faster. Regardless, GG, well played. In the end, Geralt will take it. And he will advance on to the semifinals to face off against herO. Up next, PvP between Geralt and herO. Let's go. Let us go. Is going to be that Protoss versus Protoss. Meanwhile, I believe we have some other updates. Let's catch up on the bracket. We'll need a moment to set up the players. here we go. From the bottom, we have herO. Of course, again, he was patiently waiting for his opponent, so it's going to be Gelt versus herO coming up next. Meanwhile, scrolling up, what do we have? We have Mixu. Mixu takes out Nickrak 2-0. Big win there by Mixu. I was expecting, or I was favoring Nickrak in that series, or even forcing an ace match, but no, Mixu gets a 2-0. Very impressive stuff. Mixu will advance on to the upper semifinals. Meanwhile, Pig takes down Foxer. That's an upset. Big win there for Pig. Oh my god, takes down Foxer 2-0. Very nicely done. Foxer, of course, is the American Terran player, and I was definitely favoring Foxer coming into that, but Piggy pops off, and now Pig is up against Dark in the third round. They're going to be diving into a ZVZ, I would imagine. Pig usually plays Zerg competitively, but we'll see if he does decide to play Protoss, Terran, or random. Meanwhile, Dark is going to be favored there, and we are going to be focusing on the lower semifinals. Now, if our lower matches are faster, then we might be able to catch the upper semifinals as well. Typically, it's lower semifinals into the finals, right? Just herO versus Geralt into the grand finals, but it all depends on how fast or how slow Dark, Pig, and Mixu are. All does depend. If you want to tune into those matches, I would imagine, I think Steadfast is covering that, question mark? I mean, Pig is, true. Pig is streaming his POV. And I believe Steadfast is casting their matches. Oh no, never mind. He's not. Wait, is anyone casting them? Never mind. It looks like Steadfast is going to be following us. And where's Dave? Is Dave casting? Is anyone casting that? Right. It's possible that no one might be casting that. It's possible, but you know, at least Pig is covering his POV. And it looks like Pig is playing Protoss. I see. He's playing Protoss. Makes sense. Does make sense. Protoss, yeah. I think it was last week as well that Pig also played Protoss. Usually he goes through like these eras of race that he's focusing on. For now, though, we're going to be focusing on our next match here. So up next, again, we have that semifinals. For now, we're going to be going on a very short break. Vetoes are underway, and when we come back, we will have our next series. See you soon. Off Racing versus Dark. I mean, it's possible that his Protoss might be stronger than his Zerg. Like, it might be main racing for Pig. Like, especially at the moment. But for now, going to be going on a break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the PiGosaur Monday number 10. Oh boy, it's been an intense event so far. We've seen some players rise and fall, but we had down to our top 4. We have 2 Zerg players and 2 Protoss players left in the tournament, and we're here to determine which representatives we send out to the grand finals. It's going to be a ZVP here in the finals, but which Protoss, which Zerg, we're here to find out. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Streamer Zone from Lena, Poland. It is Geralt. And if you're in the chats, you know what time it is, papi. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into this PvP. When it comes to the upper semifinals, it is happening at the exact same time. Dark did take down Pig, and Dark is now up against Mixu in the upper semifinals. So we have a ZVZ and we have a PvP. If this series is a little bit faster, we might be able to catch a tail end of Dark versus Mixu. Otherwise, this will lead straight into the grand finals. Here we go. So best of luck in the chat. For the time being, we have Geralt going for a 2-gate opener, 2-gate open out of Geralt. herO going for a gate cyber expand. Again, if you have been watching the channel over the past couple of weeks, you would know that herO has been very fond of the gate cyber expand. He did it, of course, during KSL, he did it during Alima League, and during the Wardy TV Monday as well. So over the past couple of weeks, worth of tournaments, herO has been all about the Max Packs opener. Oh boy. And that continues here. That trend does continue. As Geralt, he fully walls up. Let's go. Dust right in the pylon will delay the attempted extender, but it's going to be cancelled. And there we go. The probe is moving it down to the low ground. We'll see if Geralt can slow down the expansion. There's the pylon. Pylon has been placed. And he's trying to force herO to tech up. But alas, herO, his second gas geyser was a little bit later. And herO is looking to expand. He has the minerals for it. He has the minerals, but he has no room. Needs to bring that pylon down. Meanwhile, second pylon gets placed. Geralt delaying for quite some time. And herO's attempted economic start has been disrupted. Again, herO, his second gas was later, so he couldn't get his Stargate earlier. Otherwise he would have wanted to, of course. There's a cancel. There's the expand. So again, this is an economic opener here out of herO, but it is a delayed economic start. Meanwhile, back across the map, Geralt's going for a 2-gate opener into a Stargate into his own expansion. And we'll see what Geralt can get done. He's moving out with his initial Stalkers, double Stalker, followed by the Oracle. As Geralt is going to apply pressure, herO is going to be the defender. He will take the role as the defender here. We'll see if he can hold on. Geralt poking in. Oh! Does poke in. We have our tech of choice, going to be a Twilight Council open out of herO. So 2-gate into Twilight Council, following the expansion, of course. And we'll see if herO can keep up. We should be seeing a hallucination soon as well. Looks like there already was one. Hallucination got across the map, did scout the Stargate, is aware of the Oracle. Shield batteries on the way in the main, and Stalker should be ready for natural. So far, so good. Players are setting up. Geralt's moving out. It's only one Oracle. He's not investing into a second. Hallucination confirms that. Confirms there is no second Oracle on the way. So a very light commitment here to aggression, to the Oracles, to the harass. Geralt throwing down the stasis. Dipping into the main. We'll get vision here of the ramp. Oh! Does try to head in towards the natural. Force throwing in the revelation. And I believe Geralt, he did not see the tech. Yeah, he is not fully aware what's going on. For all he knows, there could be a Stargate, there could be a Robo, there could be a Twilight Council. Geralt is still trying to piece it all together. Meanwhile, herO did attempt to expand, but the stasis goes up, and herO is once again delayed. Delayed the natural, delayed the third. Geralt, he's all over this. Scout's gonna pull out, taking his third, and now we can just macro from here. Again, we're loading into Abyssal Reef, one of the larger maps in the map pool, so we're not going for any kind of early game aggression or early all-ins or early pushes. We are just both macroing up in towards the mid game. We're calming things down. We're settling in. Settling in back. Here we go. And again, we have seen players like herO take down herO in the past. It's a rare sight, but it has occurred before. So I want to believe. I want to believe here in the power of herO. As he's able to slow the game down, can hold his own here against herO. Doesn't have to worry about like early Adept harass or the Oracle harass or the aggression, which I feel like is where herO typically does thrive with his unit control early on. That's not going to be the case here. Oh. It is not going to be the case, as charge is being researched. Going to be charged from herO. Building up. herO's being active, looking for a way in. Again, just poking, prodding, trying to catch any stray units. Has no intention of really committing here to try to break herO by any means. You see herO trying to bait the army in. Stasis goes off, catching one sentry. And a stalker. No major connections. At the same time, Adepts shading towards the natural. They get 2 probes, 3 probes even. Not bad. 3 probes to Adepts. Here we'll clean it up. And behind this, ooh, both players taking a chance. This is something that herO is very used to. This is very stylistic of herO. He will skip Archons and going straight into Disruptors. herO is doing the same. So you know what that means? That means get ready for Disruptor Wars. Get ready for the balls, papi. Ah. They're going to be playing with them. Disruptor on Disruptor action. Second robot for herO. Second robot for herO. It's going to be all about those Disruptors, all about those Novas. Get ready for the balls, papi. They're coming. And there's going to be a lot of them as well. Oh boy. As herO, he's just securing himself, getting a 4th. Likewise, so is herO. And yeah, we're just going to chill. We're just going to chill out, build up, embrace the Disruptor. And it'll all come down to the unit control. Which is where herO can really thrive, to be fair. But that's what it all comes down to. Blink Stalker control with their Blinks, with their avoidance of Disruptors, or even catching Disruptors. Likewise, Purification Novas as well. That's what we are stripping the game down to. Just purely army control and army positioning, more importantly. Go. From here, hallucinations, they confirm. So here he now knows that herO's doing the same thing. he is now aware. herO, did he scout? herO did not. So herO is in the dark. herO is not. So herO is a little bit more in the know. herO, he responds with a faster fleet beacon. Again, herO, he is known for his late game in PvP. I should also reiterate this as well. herO, he's known for cutting corners, rushing into Disruptors, and then rushing into Sky Toss. Into Carrier and Tempest. Which is kind of the ideal late game PvP. He's getting there. Meanwhile, herO is not. So herO's on a timer. It's on a timer. This should begin with a mothership. herO rotating over, knocking down those rocks. How many Disruptors? 4 versus 4. Yeah, the stasis being baited out. Nicely done here by herO. Baits out the stasis. We'll attempt to rotate. herO has vision everywhere. Does spot the army. Here he blinks in. Late reaction. Novas go off. Up! Ooh, big connections. Here he will lose 1 Disruptor. Lose a handful of Stalkers. Still pushing in. Up! Avoids the Nova. Does avoid the Nova. Stasis goes off. Oof. herO will take some moves to the face though. And Geralt, he can try to line up that Purification over to connect here with the army. Can try to pull that off. Nova's zoning away. herO going straight for the natural. The Nova's! Oh my god, massive connections. herO losing another disruptor. Meanwhile, stasis does run out. Nova's, they connect. herO losing too much here. Losing far too much. Oh no! Once again, another Nova. Takes down the Zealots. herO trying to push in. I believe Geralt shoots first. Yep, does shoot first. Trades 1 for 1. Goes to the dive. And Geralt here reset the disruptor count, sniping every single disruptor. 1 disruptor left. Geralt, he does lose a lot of stalkers in the process. Ooh. But it might just be worth it. Remember, Geralt, he's taking up. Mothership soon to arrive. More disruptors falling. Decent connection towards the end. herO pushing through. Up. It's going to be pushing through. Zealots go down. Again, herO down to 1 Nova, 1 disruptor. And Geralt, he can fight back. He can force this all the way back. Mothership now has arrived. And herO, he's been losing far too many. You can see here, herO, he lost 9 disruptors against the 2 of Geralt. Like, that's just how efficient Geralt has been. Unfortunately, Geralt, he's lacking gateways. You can see here, Geralt, he has almost a 2k mineral bank. He has to spend his money. He has to spend his money here. Otherwise, the efficiency doesn't matter if he can't macro. Again, Geralt just having a hard time trying to spend his money. So despite the better trades, it doesn't matter. At least not now. So yeah, Geralt is up to 2k minerals. That was going up. Nice connection. Tempest production has begun. More Novas. Oh no! Oh my god, 3 disruptors go down. Nice big here by herO. He's fighting back. Has to back off though. No detection. herO forced to retreat. More Tempest are building up. Here he's holding his own. He's maxed out. Again, Geralt, he's got 2k, 1k in the bank. Still struggling to spend his money. I would love to see like a second Stargate for Geralt. With double Tempest production. Here we're rotating over. Once again, more Novas. We have better connections for Geralt. Takes down the disruptor. herO trying to force his way in. Oh! Actually done. herO takes down 2 disruptors. That's a kill, not a cancel. Kills the expansion. Tempest pushing in. Oh my god, massive connection on Geralt. Geralt losing almost everything. Down to 1 disruptor. 1 wrong move is all it takes. Meanwhile, the army busts into the natural. There's the recall. Does recall in. Tempest under fire. Mothership falls. Oh, meanwhile, an awkward fight for herO. Will bleed out a lot of his army. But he breaks through, and it looks like he has broken Geralt. Pushing into the natural, came with the production. Should take down the Robo. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Geralt, he did have the better army control is what I will say when it came to the disruptors, when it came to the Purification Novas. Did have better control, was also able to tech up into Skytoss, but again, as we pointed out, he had a really hard time when it came to his warpins, when it came to his production. He was skipping warpins, or missing warpins is what I should say. He was missing them. Likewise, didn't quite have the production to make up for that either. He was trying to throw down more gateways, trying to throw down more Stargates. Couldn't quite spend his money. herO was more efficient in doing so. He was able to maintain himself, and towards the end, when it mattered most, herO did pop off. Shut down all the disruptors, broke into the natural, and pulled Geralt apart. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO takes the lead. And now we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting into game 2. So many balls. So many. And we're watching, Pappy. We're here to watch. We are going to be here to watch. And we'll see if Geralt can bounce back. see if he can bounce back here and force that ace match as we are jumping into game number 2. We go. Getting into game 2, it's going to be on Amygdala. Once again, another larger map. Once again, longer rush distance by ground initially, but we'll see if either player does decide to be more aggressive this time. Here we go. The macro game made sense. The more passive game made sense on Abyssal Reef, but here we're loading into Amygdala. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. One more game is all he needs. We are spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone. It is Geralt. Here we go. We have our PvP. And here is going to be the first to move out across the map. Going for a much earlier probe scout. And is setting up back at home. Now again, we did mention earlier that here he has been very fond of going for the max opener of Gate into Cybercore into Expansion. We'll see if that continues to be the case here. We do see Geralt opening up double gas. herO staying on 1. That tells us that herO wants to be a little bit greedier here, that most likely herO wants to expand and take a faster Nexus. There we go, 2 gate opener out of Geralt. Only 1 gateway for herO. Geralt, he will confirm that herO is being greedy once again. Okay, he does confirm. Gonna be here on the low ground. Now, we saw that last game, Geralt was able to take a better start to the game just because he delayed the expansion for so long. We'll see if he can do it again. Cybercore's on the way for herO. Further back in the main. Meanwhile, Geralt, he doesn't take the bait. He's still patrolling here on the low ground. I think herO was hoping that because the Cybercore was thrown down further back, that he would bait the probe in. Oh my god! 1 base all in. Let's go! It's going to be a 1 base all in here from Geralt. I would imagine that here we're going to be setting up for a proxy, but we'll see. And a 3rd gateway back at home. I would imagine. Robo opener out of herO. Let's go. herO, he doesn't expand. It goes for the Robo. And we're seeing 1 base play versus 1 base play. Okay. Here we go. Pylon gets denied. Again, Geralt, he's hoping that he's going to be facing off an expansion, but here we go. The Pylon is scouted. herO will clean this up. And herO, he's going for a 1 base all in. He's got 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be a 4 gate setup here on 1 base. And Geralt expands. Geralt, he believes that herO's trying to be economic. I don't blame him. Geralt, he's been duped. He's been duped. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that it's a 1 base all in. And the probe is being hunted down. Meanwhile, Geralt, he has at least controlled the Zonaga. So he could spot a move out towards the south. Could spot a move out. Stalker gets caught out. Geralt has a retreat. Here comes the War Prism, and here comes the all-in. 4 gates, 1 base, Prism to reinforce. Geralt's still trying to figure out what's going on. Geralt, does he have a sentry? He does. And we should be seeing Hallucination soon. There we go. Hallucination across the map. Spots the Robo. He knows. He now knows what's going on. Instant shield batteries. Shield battery in the main. Shield battery at the natural. Geralt, he's trying to react in time. And we'll see if he can. He has half the production. He cancels. Yeah, he knows. Cancels the shield battery. Cancels the Nexus. He knows he cannot save the natural. It's not possible. It was just too late. It was just too late of a scout. There's the first force field. Here he juggles back. Nice control. Saves the Stalker, going for the gateway. Again, Geralt, he has only 2 gateways to begin with. That was going to be knocked down to 1. Ay. Down to 1 gateway, can warp in 1 unit at a time. Adepse shade in. Nice force field. Once again, here he does save the Stalker. Oh! Adepse shade in. They're going for the Mineral Line. Another force field. Geralt buying a lot of time here. Is buying a lot of time. Adepts a shade back to the main army. And again, the non-stop energy overcharge, non-stop force fields have been on point. He's been buying a lot of time. Gateways are finishing up, getting up to 3. Once again, more force fields. The sentry! Sentry gets locked down. And the sentry will fall. Oh my god, the shield battery barely saves it. Nicely done. Geralt, he's holding on. Killing his own probes, just trying to make room for another sentry. There it is. Will warp in, and he now has another force field. Again, the sentries, the force fields have been impressive here by Geralt. It's been the only thing keeping him alive in this game. herO rotating, he gets spotted. Geralt is aware. Is aware of what's going on. Going for another wave of reinforcements. Sneaking out across the map. Bold move out of Geralt. Does move out. herO, he recalls most of his army back home. herO, does he expand? He does. He's going to be expanding. He has been building up Immortals. Likewise, so is Geralt. We're calming things down after an intense start of the game with macroing. Both players expand. Because they poke in. They trigger the shields. Oh. Shields are triggered. herO, he has to back up. Now, as it all settles, Geralt has a higher economy, higher worker count, what I should say. Has a better economy. And we'll see if herO can keep up. Glaives on the way for herO. That tells us that this is going to be a 2-base all-in from the Protoss, from the blue Protoss at least. It's going for a 2-base all-in. Geralt setting up his own robo, extra shield batteries at the natural. I mean, he sees the high immortal count. He knows how dangerous this army is. Nice control, though. Does snipe one of the stalkers. Oh. Breaks it once again. Gonna be zone back, and here comes the all-in. Here comes the push. Sure, here he might have a natural, but he has not been making probes. No workers whatsoever. Almost a fake natural base. Geralt, he will catch some reinforcements. At least try to. Does hit the natural, and he should realize, hold up, something's wrong. Something's horribly... We have to recall. We have to recall! Or he commits. Going for the production. I mean, even better. We'll depower the gateways. Which means herO, he's supply blocked. He can't warp in. He can't reinforce. It's all or nothing for herO. Throws down the force fields. Locks down the army. Oh my god, Prism goes down. Massive pickup. No more War Prism. Geralt knocking down all the gateways. Depowering everything. But can he stop the army? Can he stop the all-in? Because that's 4 Immortals. Shading into the main. He commits. Pushing up the ramp. No force field on the ramp this time. When the robo is going to stay powered. Disruptor's on the way. It's going to be close. It pops down. Never goes off. Ooh, doesn't connect. Just barely not. Never doesn't connect. And now the gateways are being depowered. We're going full base trade mode. And Geralt, he evacuates. He evacuates. He abandons the main. But with Immortals, herO will win the base trade. These probes have to escape, but the adepts they shade in. herO knows. He realizes. He shuts down every single probe. Geralt down to 0 workers. And the reality is that Immortals will kill everything faster than the Stalkers. The Immortals will kill all. Geralt, he's making a probe. True. He's making a worker. He's saving the Nexus. Probe escapes. Oh my god. Clutch move there by herO. Sorry, clutch move by Geralt, I meant to say. As the probe gets away, that shouldn't have happened. Should not have happened. But the probe escapes. herO racing back home. Recalls. Ooh, does recall back home. Will defend his own natural. He has an expansion. Geralt does not. It was a good effort here. Geralt is down to 12 Stalkers. And he can't dive in. herO's coming in for the surround. He has to dive. Takes down 1 Immortal. He gets 1. It's a brutal trade, though. He gets the other. blinks away. herO, does he commit to... I was gonna say, does he commit to the shade? Snaps the Observer. Very nice control here by Geralt. Snaps the Observer, but we'll lose another Stalker. Force the low ground, rotating over. And GG, good luck gets called. And herO, he will come out on top of the base trade. He will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, a wild game here out of herO, faking an economic opener, going for the one base all in. Geralt getting called out, but did a great job defending, reacting, force fielding that ramp. He forced a later game state, and herO followed up with another one base all in. Like, it was quote unquote two base all in because there were two next side, but there was no saturation. So with a second one base all in, this time with 4 immortals. With that, GG, well played. GG, well played. herO will take it. It was a crazy base trade, but again, immortals do destroy buildings faster, so they were able to kill all the next eye. herO, he saved his own, and with that, congratulations. herO will make it to the grand finals, and now we are getting ready for that final match. Do we have any results? Do we have an update? What has been going on? Oh, we do. Oh my god. Scrolling up, Dark took down Mixu 2-0, and now we have the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Dark and herO. It's going to be a rematch. For those that were here yesterday, we were casting the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, and both Dark and herO, they faced in the grand finals of KSL. herO did win it, did take down Dark 3-2, went all the way to the ace match, and now they have a rematch. Does Dark get his revenge, or will history repeat itself, and will herO get another win? We're here to find out. Again, historically, herO does have a winning record against Dark, so herO is favored. But when I say he's favored, it's like 60-40, you know, in favor of herO. They do go back and forth, they do trade quite often. And because of that, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm excited. Let's go. As vetoes are underway, and oh, right, we should head on over to the Korean server. Don't want to get left behind. I'm heading over. And the players are setting up. Here we go. Absolute. But with that, we're going to be going on a short break. That's a lovely duck, by the way. Lovely. With that, we're going to be going on a break. Shouldn't take too long, but the videos are underway, and once they're done, we can jump into the grand finals. See you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Take this time, get some snacks, get some food, get some water, hydrate hydras, massage your marines, drain your disruptors, and we'll be back with that final match. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned with the PiGosaur Monday number 10. We have returned with the grand finals. Again, it's been an intense tournament so far, but we have knocked down all our players down to 2. Down to 1 Zerg and 1 Protoss. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And you know what time it is. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. These two players, they go back and forth time and time again, week after week after week. It is typically slightly in favor of herO, but again, only slightly. It is not uncommon for Dark to bring him down as well. In the most recent result, they faced off in the finals of the KSL, did go the way of herO in the end. I do recommend the series. Was a banger of a best of 5, and we'll see if Dark can get that revenge or if herO continues his win streak. As for now, we are settling in. For now, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of Dark. Likewise, herO going for the gate expand into Cybercore. So far, so good. Now, of course, coming into this, Dark is typically hyper aggressive in this matchup, very aggressive. Very often, we do see Link Queen Nidus all-ins, Roach Ravager walks across the map. I should even say Link Queen walks across the map as well. So our eyes are going to be on Dark when it comes to the timing of his lair, timing of his gases, and whether he pulls out or pulls back in. Eyes are going to be on Dark here. Likewise, herO can also be aggressive himself and also be chaotic, but usually it's like in the mid game. Usually it's in a longer game, say less so early on. It typically takes herO a little bit longer to get going. So more often than not against Dark, herO is more of the defender and takes a more defensive role. Usually, not always. We'll see. We're now going to be loading into ley lines. Again, ley lines is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Shorter rushes to spike ground, but a defendable 3 and 4 base setup. We have seen many a queen walk across the map on this map. On ley lines, meant to say. We're now going to be a Stargate open out of herO, standard stuff. Stargate into Oracle into a 3rd base. Everything looking normal for the time being. Again, it's going to be on herO to scout and figure out what's going on. Here we go. As Dark has pulled out of gas, so just link speed, just the initial 100 gas, pulls out. Get into his link speed, saturating his natural. And trying to get a read on what's going on. Overlord dips in. Heads towards the main. And this here he is setting up. Going for the Oracle first, Overlord will confirm. For now, we will just be settling in. Nothing too crazy in the early game. Depending on the map, Dark, he has been known to go for hatch blocks. He has been known to hatch block across the map, especially on King's Cove. But on a map like Ley Lines, we don't see that occurring. Again, the rush distance by ground is just a little bit shorter, so it is easier to punish. So Dark, he doesn't mess with it. Meanwhile, two adepts, they get across the map. They're going to be threatening a shade. Two adepts, they can one-shot drones. It's going to be on Dark to keep up. So far, so good. Ooh, does lose a tumor though. Nice pick off there by herO. Snipes the tumor. Maintains map control. Threatens the shade. Doesn't quite commit. Spores are on the way. As the Oracle has arrived. Gets Revelation up. And Dark, he is amassing a lot of lings. That's 16 lings in production. We'll see if Dark continues, going for a 4-minute lair as well. Very early lair timing here by Dark. Now with all these links, his goal is to hunt down these adepts. He's droning up behind this, but the fast lair tells us a story. Where we headed. Extra gas is being taken, 3 gases. Now this can be for 2 base, or this could be to rush into Hydras, could be to rush into Mutas. This could be for a Link Queen Nidus all in as well. Oracles, they scout the gas. Very early gas guys are here for Dark. Less saturation at the 3rd. Doesn't quite check the main. Doesn't quite see the lair timing. Lings, they get us around to one of the adepts. Ooh, and the Oracles are not quite in position, but there's the 3rd Oracle back at home. herO defense. Here he shuts the Lings down. We'll clean them up. Only getting 1 adept. And herO did not get into the main. So he's working with incomplete information. I mean, seeing the gas geyser is a tell. Like, you wouldn't really see one this early on without good reason. No Roach Warren. Lair is done. What's it going to be? Nidus. Yep, Link Queen Nidus all in here for Dark. He's going for the all-in. The Oracle! No! He gets in! Sees the lair! Oh! Sees the lair, but barely does not see the Nidus Swarm. Now, again, seeing a lair this early on should be either Nidus, Hydras, or even Muta. Is something. It's on here to figure out what exactly it is. Making its way towards that natural. Does cancel the shade. Stasis goes off. Ooh, connects with half the mineral line. Still does not quite see the tech. Shades once again. Gets eyes on saturation. Nidus Worm into the main. herO, he does spot it. He does respond. There we go. He spots the Nidus Worm. Racing back home. Does go for the warp in. Stasis trap just outside. Boys are being pulled. And Dark, ooh, he will take a Stasis in the face. Queens, they pop out just in time. And they do not save the Nidus. And Nidus does fall. But we have a backup Nidus on the way. And can herO hold on? At the same time, Lings, they do hit the third. herO trying to defend at multiple locations. Will snipe every single queen. The queens are going down one after the other. Barely any support. There's one transfuse. Stasis runs out. Lings, they bust into the third. There's the NG overcharge. And the Oracle will shut this down. But that's going to be 16 pro kills. 16 workers do fall. Lings, they try to surround. Nice movement here out of herO. Yeah, he kites well. Trading well against the Lings. Oracle shutting them down. And herO holds. And herO, he does hold. He cleans this up. herO, he's down in workers slightly, but he does save the third. Saves the expansion. Shuts this down. Dark following this up with a Hydra Den. Trying to transition. Is going to try to transition here. Meanwhile, do we have any tech? Glaives. Glaive Adepts are done. Uh-oh, and Dark is in trouble. Here comes a massive Glaive Adept counterattack. And how do you defend against Glaive Adepts? Usually with Banelings or with Roaches. Dark has none. He has neither. He has Link Queen. And no transfuse. He just injected. He just spread creep. Here come the Adepts. And he commits. Yeah, he does commit in. The Lings, they do nothing. The Lings, they cleaned up. Queens are exposed. No transfuse. They're going to go down one after the other. And herO snowballing out of control. The Hydras, what are they going to do? They're going to melt as well. Like, we commit to the shade. Hydras are getting picked up. And herO, from here, he can snowball out of control. Pushing up into the main. There's 20 Lings in production. That will help to buffer. But the Hydras have to get the hell out of here. Shading towards the third. Sniping more Hydras. But Dark, he is amassing an army. He's building up. Oh. herO doesn't commit. Pulling back, building up with reinforcements. We have Blink on the way, +2 on the way. Dark is trying to hold his own. Without Link reinforcements, I mean, these Hydras are so vulnerable. That is a lot of Links coming in, though. Dark dancing with the army. Does poke forward. Has built up a decent chunk of Hydras. He can hold his own. He will force this back. Here, catching an Overlord. Rotating over. Dark is down in workers, down in economy. But reinforcements, they take some time to get across the map. They do take time. Here, he's so tempted to shade in. I mean, that's a lot of Adepts. He's tempted. Doesn't give it to the shade. Shaves off so many Lings. And Dark overextending. Building in more Hydras. 10 more Hydras in production. That's a lot of Hydras. They can soon buffer for themselves. As Hydras, they start to step forward. Adepts, they engage. Hydra's going to be going down. Oh my god. And this is a brutal trade. Dark, you can't afford this. Without the Lings, so many Hydras just went down. That was how many? That was 17 Hydras falling. GG gets called, and herO snowballs out of control. Will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Dark, he committed. herO took him a while to really confirm what was happening, to really realize what exactly was going on. But despite that, oh, I should also change our races. There we go. But despite that, did have the Glaive Adept follow-up. He was able to get on top of the Nidus Worms, able to shut down those Queens. A very nice defense there by herO. And again, Dark just could not really recover from there. Unfortunately, Dark was taking into Hydras. And again, Hydras don't scale. I shouldn't say they don't scale well, but they struggle against Adepts. Do struggle quite hard there against those Glaive Adepts. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We're getting into game number 2. We'll see what map we spawn into. Where are we dropping? Now, after the initial Link Queen Nidus all-in, I don't expect to see that again in this series, but we could see Link Queen Drop Lord all-ins, we could see Roach Ravager-based all-ins as well, off of 2 or 3 base saturation, especially on this map. Up next, we're going to be spawning into Ultra Love. Let's go. Up next is going to be Ultra Love. Rush distance by ground is comparable to that on lane lines, but the bases are more defendable for the most part. But we have seen a lot of success when it comes to Zerg players going into something like a 2 or 3 base Roach Ravager base all-in. We'll see if Dark embraces that. For now, we're getting into game 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Here we go. So again, we don't expect another Link Queen Nidus all-in in this series. Maybe if we get to game 4 or game 5, that would be a good place to flaunt it. But back-to-back games in a row is typically less than ideal. Typically, we want to avoid that. So Dark going for his natural expansion. Is going Hatch Gas Pull. And here is moving out with his Probe Scout to make sure there's nothing crazy going on. Again, it is not uncommon for Dark to go for a 12 pull or go for the Hatch block. So here wants to make sure that everything's on the up and up. Wants to make sure that Dark is opening standard. And he is. herO will confirm. herO dips in, disrupting the mining. He saw the timing of the natural, so he knows it's a standard natural-based timing. herO can expand, and now we can settle in. Now again, when it comes to Ultra Love, the natural base is much more fortifiable because of the ramp coming into it. This is a feature that is non-existent in ley lines, for example, where ley lines and natural is just more wide open. Likewise, a third base as well also has some points of elevation, also has a choke point and a destructible tower. You can knock down the tower and fully wall off here at the third. So this is why it's more defendable on 3 and even 4 bases as well. Despite that, because of how short the rush distance is by ground, we have seen a lot of Zerg players set up these creep highways. You know, go for German taxis, for example, spread their creep and commit with Roach Queen. When I say a lot of Zerg players, I'm thinking of Solar. Like Solar, he almost exclusively just goes for Roach all-ins on this map. But I will see. For now, Link Speed is on the way. Darky pulls out. Very clean pull out this time. Doesn't mind any excess gas. I think last game he had like 1 extra trip. The biggest of deals. Meanwhile, Stargate open out of herO. Standard stuff. Stargate into Oracle. We have seen herO embrace Void Ray base play. He also did that in KSL, where he would open Void Ray just to deny vision, deny scouting. I wouldn't be opposed to that on some of these larger maps, but here on Ultra Love, we'll see if he does risk it. Should be an Oracle. herO does chase down those Lings. Extra Lings on the way. Just a handful of them. And we have confirmation, Oracle first. Is going to be the Oracle first for herO. We'll be moving out across the map. Back at home, Dark making extra Lings, cutting workers at 27. Okay, there we go. More drones on the way. Did invest quite heavily into these Lings, and with these Lings, he should be knocking down these Adepts. He should be able to surround and shut them down, and counterattack and attempt to delay the third. That's going to be the goal for Dark. Once he gets Link Speed, which is now kicking in. Darky squirts around the edge. herO, he races back home. Oracle's in position, and herO's ready. herO's in position. He defends, can expand. Dark is zoned away. Dark is zoned back. Second Oracle's coming in. Third Oracle's on the way as well for herO. Again, just triple Oracle into a third is standard stuff from our Protoss. Dark is taking an extra gas, guys. So once again, 4-minute lair. So same as last game, very fast lair timing here out of Dark. He's on 2 gases. We should be seeing a 3rd gas momentarily. And just like last game, it's all about what comes next. And now this can lead into Link Queen Nidus all in again. True. Could lead into Nidus play. This could be for fast 2-base Hydra Den as well. There's a 3rd gas geyser. This can lead into Hydras. This can lead into a Spire, especially with a 4th gas geyser. That's what we would kind of like cement and secure something like Spire play. But that's a lot of Lings here in production. Does he go for the same build again? Does he go for another Nidus? No shot. Adepts, they commit. Queen goes down. Ooh. He's going to be bleeding out a lot of Lings, and he's running up behind this. It's going to be the Hydra Den, right? Lings, they cleaned up. Drone's going to be falling as well. Dark losing so much early on. Which means if he did commit to aggression, it's not going to hit as hard. Yeah, and there it is, Hydras. If you remember, this is what I assumed it was last game. But last game it was Nidus. This game, Hydras. This makes more sense, especially after losing all those Lings. So this is going to be a very strong Hydra timing here. Dark can hit with 3-base saturation. I'm referring to 66 drones. We'll see if he cuts workers early on. For now, he did invest quite heavily into these Lings, and Dark is going for a big counterattack. But there's 4 oracles and glaives. Oh god. Glaive Adepts on the way. Now, if herO was going into Blink, if he was going +1 Blink, then herO would be in trouble. But he's going for Glaive Adepts, which is ideal against Ling Hydra. Did he see the lair timing? He didn't. He didn't even see the gas. He's just going for Glaives anyway. Why not? As Lings, they're being shut down. Ooh, herO, he does activate all of his oracles, so a little bit inefficient there from the Protoss. Did activate all the oracles. We can see Darky's kind of works at 52. That is less than 3-base saturation, 52 workers, massing up Hydras. herO, he will confirm. Does confirm the Hydras. Is now aware. Behind this, Robo's on the way. Now he knows that a Ling Hydra-based move that is upon us. Baneling S being thrown down as well for Ling Bane Hydra. As Dark is still building up. Hydra speed finishing, still missing Hydra range. Oh. As we do get the revelation. And Darky's not droning. Bear that in mind. He is not droning up. He's making more Lings, more Hydras, soon to be more Banelings as well. Here he will threaten a dive. But here has to be so careful with this. He cannot afford to lose these Adepts. Tower gets knocked down. Here he does see some saturation. Does come from the 3rd. Oracle's into the main, going for a Queen. We'll get it. We'll lose an Oracle in the process. And here comes Dark. Dark, he's committed. He's going for the all-in. Essentially 2.5 base all-in here, off of 4 gases. And hero's not ready. Yeah, here he's not ready at all. He's completely out of position. Hero's across the map, and Dark, he knocks down the 3rd. 3rd base is going to fall. herO going for the base trade. But a base trade against Ling Hydra with only Adept, it's not going to work out well for him. Banelings at 1 Ling in. They get shut down. 3rd base falls. Adepts towards the 3rd. Adepts into the main. Is getting some workers, but Dark is buying time, and he's racing back in with the Hydras. And he's morphing in even more Banelings. Oh no, the Banelings! Oh, massive donations! Yeah, very nice setup there from Dark, and Darky will shut this down. Cleans up all the Adepts, he defends. And now Dark can drone. Now he can drone up, now he can saturate. herO is up in workers, but here he's stuck on 2 bases. Again, here he didn't realize what was happening. Didn't realize what was going on until it was too late. Gets across the map. Takes off a couple of drones. And Dark, he doesn't have to push into the natural. Doesn't have to. All he has to do is contain. That is his win condition. Just contain the Protoss on 2 bases. As herO, he's oversaturated. He's up in workers, but it doesn't matter. He's not making use of them. They're stuck in the main and natural mineral lines. And here he's going to have to turn this into his own 2-base all-in. He has some nice upgrades. He has +3 compared to the 0/0 of Dark. Again, that's why Dark was all in. Just doing it all off of 0/0 upgrades. Now working on +1 range. Storm is on the way. With Storm, even if herO is down in army supply, he can take a fight, especially against this kind of army. Storm just annihilates Lingbane Hydra. So that is a bit of a Hail Mary play for herO. So Hail Mary play is to move out with Storm. Dark, meanwhile, taking into roaches, which means he'll be able to tank those storms. Here comes the move out. You see herO expanding behind this. As he moves out, so does Dark. Army gets spotted. Dark, he responds. Trying to keep up. How many High Templar? 4. 4 High Templar, 4 Storms. Have to keep track of them. Alright, just poking in. Shave off some Zealots. Storm zones, not the best Storm. Expansion is denied. At the same time, Dark, he does get across map, cancels the third. And herO, is he going to go back home? He does turn around. Hoping to catch the Hydras. But Dark, he pulls away. He pulls away in time. Good response here by Dark. herO going to try and chase this. Going to try and chase him down. Failings, they don't quite connect. One of them does. Dark getting caught out. And herO, he's snowballing out of control. He's getting on top of the Hydras. A brutal loss here for Dark. Lost all his roaches, the Lingbane, the Hydras as well. And Dark, he plummets in army supply. Will lose every single Hydra. And now it's go time. And what's crazy is that was only 1 storm for herO. He still has 3 left. Soon to be 4. Still has plenty of storms. That was all without storm. That's crazy. Now he's pushing in. Oh, the roaches. Roaches go for the dive. High Templar, 1 goes down. He gets 1, he gets 2. But GG gets called. Again, there's nothing left for Dark. And herO snowballs out of control. He will take a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Dark. Alas, he was caught out in the open. He just lost everything in that center fight. Was brutal. herO was pretty committed there. Again, herO, he was stuck on 2 bases. He had no economy, but he had a massive army. And with that, he overwhelms Dark. Dark was expanding. Dark was taking, spending resources not on his main army. He was a little bit complacent there, and Dark got caught out. Was caught out. And with that, herO is now 1 game away from claiming the series. And becoming this week's champion. And we'll see if Dark can bounce back. I mean, again, we do expect Dark to make a series out of this, but he's up against the wall. He's up against the wall. The pressure is on. I'm hoping for a game 4. I'm hoping for a game 5. But it's all now on Dark. It's all on Dark. Here we go. Stretching, Pap. I'm stretching. Don't forget to stretch. Ugh. As we're loading into Whispers of Gold. Here we go. Potentially the final game of the series. I hope not, but potentially. As again, this is a much smaller map, very wide open as well, very exposed third bases. Aggression is favored on Whispers of Gold, but that goes both ways. Does go both ways. And fun fact, herO, he has gone Glaives every game so far. Are we finally going to see Roach play out of Dark? Because he's been getting away with just blind Glaive adepts. It's crazy. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. Here we go. Didn't Dark have that game 1? He was in a good position, but again, he just took a really bad fight. Took a really bad fight out in the center of the map, where he was completely caught out. herO, he had a larger army. He had Storm as well. Like, herO did outscale him. herO, he had even +3 on the way. Dark had 0-0. He was in a good position, that is true, but I mean, clearly, again, even if you have a lead in StarCraft, that doesn't matter. Or it does matter, but It does not mean that it is insurmountable to overcome that and to surpass that. Especially at this level of play. Especially at this level of play. So we'll see if Dark can bounce back. So far, hatch gas pool, standard opener. Likewise, herO going for his own gate expand. It's going to be setting up. Standard opener so far. And I'm hoping that actually it's hard to say here. Again, herO, he's been opening glaives every game so far, and it has been working very well for him overall. Just because of how Ling, Hydra, Bane, heavy Dark has been, both in game 1 and game 2. I mean, there have been different builds, that is true. There have been different builds, but all very reliant on Lings. We'll see if Dark switches it up. We'll see if herO blindly switches it up as well. As we're on match point. On match point. Here we're going to be opening up Stargate once again. Is going for that Stargate opener. Into Oracles. Meanwhile, I mean, really, we're just waiting for the 4-minute mark, to be honest. Like, Dark, he pulls out a gas, is getting a third base, is going to be droning. The question becomes, does Dark once again go for a 4-minute lair? Now, what's impressive about Dark's play and about his 4-minute lair timings is that, again, there's a lot of possibilities for what it could be. So far, we saw Ling Queen Nidus all in game 1. We saw a Ling Bane Hydra all in game 2. Here in game 3, we could see 4 gases into Muta play. We could see, once again, 3 gases into Fast Roach Warren, into Roach Speed, into a Roach Ravager base all in. We could see fast Pneumatized Carapace into Jopa Lords. Or even just a standard game. It's possible. It's possible. With Dark, anything is possible. We'll see. Is he crazy enough to play macro? Maybe. It's not that crazy. We'll just survive. Oracle's on the way. And we're getting there. We're reaching that moment. Dark pulling back into gas. We're a couple of seconds off. herO moving out. We'll be zoned away by the queens. He's going to be zoned back. Oracle towards the natural. Adepts here towards the natural as well. Trying to pull Dark apart. And there it is. Once again, we have the lair. So once again, lair first out of Dark. It has been the same opener every game so far in this series, just 4-minute lair. This lair was a little bit later. I did notice Dark did mine extra gases. He was distracted by the oracles, basically. So it was a slightly delayed lair, but only slightly, by a couple of seconds. Once again, a 3-gas setup. And once again, we have to ask ourselves, okay, is it going to be the Hydroden, the Roach Warren, the Nidus? What's it going to be? So far, 4 drone kills. Nicely done here by the oracles. Meanwhile, Lings, they harass across the map, but there's a 3rd oracle back at home. herO defends, herO attacks. We're on 3 gases. No Roach Warren. We could have already thrown one down, so it shouldn't be Roach based. Otherwise, we'd already see the Roach Warren by now. Show us that Hydroden again? Question mark. As the layer is finishing up, and Darky has enough resources for his tech of choice. Yep, there it is, Hydroden. Okay, so just like the previous game, same setup. It's going to be very committed here with Ling Hydra. We'll see if he commits with a Baneley Nest as well for a Ling Bane Hydra all-in. Ooh, this time an earlier Evo Chamber. Remember, last game, it was all-in off of 0-0 upgrades. Without an Evo Chamber whatsoever, this time Dark is investing into upgrades. Evo Chamber's on the way. Now, this usually means that Dark is going to hit a +1 timing. He's going to ideally hit with +1. Which means it's going to be a later move out. And Dark, this time he's droning up. Remember, last game he cut workers at 52. He cut workers at 52, this time up to 69 drones. So, much more mid-game oriented. Yes, there are Hydras on the way, but they're just to defend. You can see Dark taking gases. He's taking gases, he's droning up. And he should be cutting workers at 66. But there's a curious 66 drones is 3 base saturation. It's 3 bases, like full mineral and gas saturation, as all gases are being taken. And I would imagine this 4th base is just for larva, just so we can hit with +1. We'll see if he does saturate the 4th. That's going to be the tell if Dark intends to macro. Otherwise, it should be a 3 base all in. Darky pushes forward, takes stays to the face. herO poking in, herO investing into +1 and blink this time, not glaives. Going for blink. And you can see here again, Dark, he's not droning. He's not droning that 4th. That 4th is just for larva. And this is going to be purely a Ling Hydra all in. No Banelings. No Banelings this time. Stasis goes off, catches the Lings. So far, good trades here out of herO. Dark still building up. Dark still not droning. There's that Baliness behind this, which means he's going to be that much more committed. And again, Dark, he's waiting for that upgrade. +1, still a ways off. Lings, they attempt this around. Nice stasis. The Bay is done. No Colossus yet for herO. Shaving off more Lings. There we go. First Colossus is in production. Can he get the Colossus in time? And here comes a push. +1 going to finish up in a couple of seconds. Ling Hydra diving in. Hydra speed still not quite done. There we go. Finishing up in 5 seconds as well. And here he has to race back home. He's kiting back. More stasis traps. You can see here it's just trying to pick off those Hydras, pick off those Lings. Stasis goes up. Does catch the Lings, but the Hydras are pushing through. Yeah, we're coming in for a surround, and where's the Colossus? It's still in the way. Oh my, the Stasis! Stasis does catch the Hydras, and with that, here he can hold. He can hold on. Shield battery popping up. Cannon just buying some time. Stasis traps are about to run out, but the Colossus has arrived. And that's all that matters here. The Colossus does make it out. Oh, Stalkers are getting picked off. The boys are being pulled. Oh, the Hydras from behind. The snipe! The Colossus! Massive pickoff! Colossus goes down. And here he's in trouble. He's in trouble here. That should not have happened. At the same time across the map, oh, Zealot's popping off, getting a mineral line. herO will hold, but that was a tough hold for herO. And Dark is still pushing out. And that Colossus should not have fallen. herO otherwise distracted, but he kills 20 draw. Oh my god, 20 workers go down across the map. I mean, Dark was already all in to begin with, and now his economy is crippled. herO just needs a little bit more time. There we go, he has one more Colossus. Force fields to try to buy time and trying to fend off those Hydras. They're coming in for the dive. The Star stepping. He wants the Colossus. He wants it. The shield battery. Shield battery pops off. Boys are being pulled. The Colossus, he kites back. He saves it. The Hydras from the other side. The flanking Hydras. It looks like he will get it. He will get the Colossus just barely. And has Dark done it? Has he broken through? It's so close. Still so close. Dark, he wants that Hydra. He wants it. Oh, he will get it. Snipes a Hydra. herO getting a 4th. Rebuilding his Colossi. And Dark, he's running out of steam. Again, Dark, he doesn't really have much of an economy here. He's barely maintaining himself. Really impressive pickups here out of Dark, sniping both Colossus, but now there's one once again. And herO, he has yet to reach 2 Colossus. Like, he's always been sniped 1 at a time. Once he gets up to 2, he's going to be fine. Like, he's going to be secure against this. He's going to hit critical mass Colossus with 2. It's going to be crazy. Once again, Dark, if he does push... I mean, Dark, he's not droning. Bear that in mind as well. Dark, he's not droning. He's still all in. Ideally, he wants to try to come in from multiple angles and try to collapse on those Colossus. It's still possible for Dark to pull this off. It's still possible. Nice kiting here from herO. He kites back. Sentries are going to be ideal, bearing in mind because there's no Ravagers. Oh, Hydras, they push in. A lot of Hydras go down. They were not expecting the Colossus to be there. What I was going to say is that against Ling Bane Hydra, force fields are king because there's no Ravagers. There's no way to deal with force fields. No way to handle them. Nice kiting here from herO. He walls off. Ends up morphing into an Archon. He holds the line. Banelings, they crash in. They don't quite kill anything. Dark going for the 4th, but herO, he's keeping up, and he's going to shut this down. Yeah, the Colossus has arrived. They just shut down the Ling Hydra. And Dark, he's going to get chased down. herO, he has no reason not to chase. GG gets called, and herO, he will survive. He will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's PiGosaur Monday number 10 champion. GG. A very intense final game, and Dark, he came so close to breaking herO. It was very impressive when Dark was able to snipe the first Colossus as well, once the stasis ran out, but the second Colossus took a little bit longer, of course, did trade very well against the Ling Hydra, and again, Dark, he was on a timer. What was really the MVP, and we didn't give enough attention to it, was the Zealot run-by. The Zealot counterattack at the same time killed 20 drones. It crippled the economy. It did mean that Dark, his all-in was even weaker than it should have been. Like, it was a brutal Zealot run by Dark. He was otherwise preoccupied. He was distracted. He lost his entire mineral line. That was 20 workers. That was every worker in the mineral lines, in the mineral line and in the gas geysers as well. It was a brutal loss for Dark. And with that, he ran out of steam. Ran out of resources. GG, well played. herO is our champion. This time a much cleaner finals here from herO. herO, he took down Dark in KSL, takes him down here in PiGosaur Monday as well. Very impressive stuff. Again, herO is usually favored against Dark, but usually we get a back and forth. It's very rare to see a 3-0. But Dark, he woke up this morning and he chose violence every game. All in after all in after all in. I mean, we're used to that with Dark, true. We are used to that. That is typically how he does approach this matchup and how he approaches herO as well. And did make for a fun series nonetheless. Was a short series, but a fun series. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to herO, my condolences to Dark, and that wraps up PiGosaur Monday for the week. Does wrap it up. If you enjoyed the broadcast, if you enjoyed the tournament, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we have PiGosaur Monday. As a bit of a PSA, we will not be casting PiGosaur Monday on the week of Christmas. On the week of Christmas, I will otherwise be busy, so I do apologize. I'm going to be meeting up with some family, spending time with family, of course, and we'll be taking 2 days off. 2 days off. If you remember last night, I was talking about how, like, yo, we're going to be taking 4 days off. That has since changed. I have scheduled some extra casts, so only 2 days off. Only 2 days off. Oh, no. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We'll be having a catch-up stream on Thursday and another stream on Monday. That is going to be the plan. But because of that, we will be missing out on 2 casts. We're going to be missing out on PiGosaur Monday and Wardy TV Monday. We will be casting PiGosaur Monday via replays, though. We're going to be doing a replay cast later on in the week to catch up. Wardy TV Monday, we don't usually get replays from that, so I don't think we'll be able to catch up on replays there, unfortunately. But at least we'll be able to cover PiGosaur Monday via replays in a couple of days after the fact, after the event. Again, that's going to be on the week of Christmas. Ooh. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you're curious, if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, then we have you covered in 7 hours time. I say in 7 hours. In 6.5 hours, we are going to be live. In 6.5 hours, we're going to be live with another tournament. We're going to be live with Alima League. Alima League is going to be coming up next on the channel. It's going to be a pretty intense tournament. I mean, again, it's a weekly event. It is a little bit more catered towards the European and Korean time zone. And I do apologize. We are the official English casters, but we do not cast on Twitch. We cast on Chijijik. That is a Korean streaming platform. Exclamation mark Chijijik in the chat if you guys want to link to it. But they are the main sponsor of Alima League. That's why we cannot stream on Twitch. We do upload VODs to YouTube, though, in a couple of days. A couple of days later, we do upload those VODs to YouTube, so you can check it out there. Otherwise, you can watch it live on Chijijik. When it comes to replay casts, I do think that I do believe that Loco, Pig, and Wardy, they all get replays of Alima League after the fact, so they usually cast it on their own YouTube channels or their own Twitch channels. So they do cover it there, and I think they end up replay casting before we get to upload to YouTube. But regardless, Alima League is going to be occurring, and you can catch it wherever, whether it's on our channel or another channel instead. Otherwise, we're wrapping up. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm going to try and get some work done and then have a nap and get ready and be well rested for Alima League. Oh boy, as Alima League is tonight. Tomorrow is going to be Sparkling Tunic Cup. STC is going to be tomorrow. Then we have the Pondcast on Thursday. We have SDO on Friday, KSL on Saturday, and Masters Coliseum over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. So a very busy week here for us. Every day, of course, we have plenty of content. As always, Papi, as always, plenty of content here on the channel. Look forward to it. look forward to it. And thank you all for the subscriptions we got earlier. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for the raids as well. And we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you next time. Until then, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on all the social medias if you wish. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We post whenever we go live, and we upload VODs on a daily basis. Plenty of VODs on YouTube, plenty of VODs on that platform. We also stream on Facebook, on Kick, on Jijijik. We stream everywhere all at the same time. So if you're curious, you can follow us there as well. Otherwise, see you next time. Until then, hasta luego. See you tonight. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you later tonight.